I have a serial murderer's area, and then he came and he saw some shit he said.
What up, peoples? What up? How we doing? Here we go. Boom. Nailed it. Fuck yeah. What up, guys? How we doing? Welcome to the last nightly Twitch talk ever, right? Hello. My name is Corey Adam. I will be with you today as I try to figure out. We might have connection issues today, guys. I got around to getting that new modem, but it just, like, it doesn't want to do anything that you tell it to. And I'll probably be working on it most of the night. What's up, Sandy? How are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah. What's up? What's happening, people? There we go. Boom. Did that work? There it goes. Okay, I gotta find... Where are they? Falling asleep, otherwise good? I don't know. Falling asleep's pretty good. What's wrong with falling asleep? Otherwise good. Yep. It's gonna be a lot of dead air for right now, guys. Sorry. Looking specifically for some stuff that I need to locate. $19.96 Survivor Series on TV and listening to you. Nice, that's pretty good. That's a decent way to do that. I'm into that for sure. Seems like the right choice. Oh man, I don't know. Hold on. I'm trying to find this fucking... I had a buddy that died, and I have this really fun picture of us, and I'm just trying to find it. And I cannot. And that's okay. Oh, a lot of dead air today. Yeah, I don't know. So it's going to be a weird one, man. I just can't find that goddamn picture. It's pissing me off. Yeah, it does suck. I don't know. It's pretty mentally ill, so it's okay. I mean, it's one of those things where you don't want your friends to die ever, and it sucks, but at the same time, he wasn't in a good place, and I'm glad he's not suffering anymore, so that's just what you got to do with it. I mean, there's not... The main thing is I have this fucking picture. I cannot find it. Ugh, where the fuck? Alright, we're gonna find this or we're not. But either way, we're gonna stop fucking looking for it. Because it's just dead air. I'm just deadifying the air, baby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see here. Hey, what up, Mikey? Welcome. Yeah, I cannot find it to save the life of me. That's disappointing. It really is. Just gonna keep doing this, you guys. It'll be a sec. There we go. I found it. I found one. How about that? I found it. Now we can start the fucking show. How about that? How about that? All right. Yep. Boom. We're there. We're in. Hi. How's it going, guys? Sorry about all that dead air. We're going to get going. I hope the signal stays. So what happened is today I was fucking with my modem, and that ended up being ridiculously shitty experience with Comcast, and then the modem worked and then it didn't. You know, the whole way that it fucking goes, right? And then I get the modem done, I get everything set, and it's time to fucking do a show, and boom, found out my friend died. It's like, god damn it. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Oh, but whatever. We're not going to let that get us down, because if we do, the terrorists win, man. I don't know if that's really applicable to say in this scenario, but man, are we going to say it? It's just kind of crazy, you know? Like, it's, just tell people in your life you love them, that you love them, and all that shit, you know? Fucking, it's a weird one. But all right, how are we doing? Welcome, guys, to a very weird, sad, I guess. I don't know. It's not even going to be sad. I don't know what I was going to do. I didn't prep. It was all I could do to scramble to get this fucking modem in to make sure I had internet connection, which up until 10 minutes before showtime, I didn't. I still don't have this light figured out over here, which I've fucking just given up on. Hit that, right? Search for it. Find it. Oh, my buddy Chad. Oh, it's a good dude. Accessory not found. Okay, so I have to redo that. Ugh. And here's the thing that fucking, it's so stupid. So, like, all the equipment I have a lot of, like, Elgato stuff, which is fine. I like it. It's good shit. The Stream Deck, great.
Excuse me, bitch!
You heard me. But their lights, which I also love, I changed the Wi-Fi because I had to, like, totally restructure everything with the new modem. So now everything is just fucked. And I was planning on fixing it before we went on. But I didn't get around to it. But what I did get around to, and this is kind of awesome, is if you go over to the Discord, I spent a shitload of time updating it last night. So we have a bunch of different channels, but the main thing that we added is we're gonna have music in there. We're gonna make all this. Was there a steel toe core show? There was not. What I thought would take 20 minutes ended up taking 3 hours. I was on the phone the whole time. It fucking sucked. Whatever. Hotter than 2 rabbits fucking in wool socks. It doesn't seem that hot. Call me old-fashioned, but that doesn't even get me hard. Yeah, Discord is a lot different today. It's crazy. So the thing is, and as we get, so I should move the Corey Adams stuff down, maybe. I don't know. So as you jump into the channel from now on, right, you hop into Discord. It's going to look completely different. I put a bunch of emojis in there. I put all these things. I have bots now, so we'll be able to do the exclamation point hi Tom shit. I'm just building it. It'll take time. But what's interesting is if any of you guys game, we're going to be, once we switch to the days, I think we're going to be meshing the game channel here too. So we'll do the games here as well. And then what we're going to do at that point is, with Discord, is that it can be a game chat all you want, you know, like, so like there's going to be in the room right now, there's 3 different game chat rooms. Like there's here, we'll go full screen. This will be a good little tutorial for people that don't really know. Whoops. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, fuck, it's so hot. So enhance. So here's your server home screen. You log into TwitchTok. These are my other servers. They're not, I don't own them. They're just ones that I belong to. JBTV. Like, Discord is cool because it can manage a bunch of servers. But anyways, you go into the TwitchTok. You should see this little logo here. See what I'm pointing at? That little purple logo? You click on that. And then this is all the stuff. If you ever want to see who's on our server specifically, you can click this drop-down menu. And there's now a robot that monitors that. So we have all the fucking members. I'm a mess. I just started to figure out Discord. Good. No, that's fine, man. Like, that's the whole thing. This is going to be a learning experience for everybody, and we can all do it. So what we're going to do is when you come in, you can look here. Like I said, you can click this down, and now we have bots. So we know all the members that are in, the members that are logged in, and how many bots we have. So you can always keep track of that. Then you go to start here. It's a little panel. It says all that stuff. Go down to rules. And this one's important. The only rules we have in our Discord is don't be a D-bag or do be a D-bag. So try to stick to that. But you'll go in here, and as you look here, there'll be one that just is called TwitchTok Show. And this is going to be pretty much everything we use for the show. Yeah, Ellie, it's going to be divided up. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to be integrating it in so that it can be a game hub thing as well. So, like, the idea is eventually... Wait, can I do that on the live stream one? There it is. Look at that shit. Fuck yeah. That's probably too small, though, huh? All right, we'll go back to the way we had it. Boom. So, anyways, you come in, TwitchTok right there, right? General, all this stuff. There's a really cool feature now when you go into any of our rooms. Let's say you're on air. Mikey's in here. So when you go on air, mute your mic so people can talk or whatever. But we have a memes thing. We have an admin room, which will be closed off to you guys eventually. Haha, because you're not admin. This is the TwitchTok text. That's just going to be the mass wall. It's where I put all of our general discussion before. And then general is some of the run over that had general stuff to it. But what's really cool is that on Discord, if you go over to like the memes, let's say, it doesn't matter which one. So let's say memes, right? If you go here and you just go exclamation point rank, it will tell you your rank on that Discord server. So you level up. We got levels. We're going to have prizes that we give away through this. There's all kinds of stuff that's going to be integrated through the Discord. So that's going to be a pretty important part going forward. You know, you can also check on your level by doing levels, I think it is. Yeah. And there you can go in and check out our specific leaderboard. You can check out all that other stuff. So again, this is going to be primarily where we hang out. This is the room, right? Yeah, there's levels, there's going to be prizes, all kinds of stuff. But then also what's really cool is we have a Corey Adam category where I will just be putting in announcements and putting in, oh, wait, what did I just do? There we go. Announcements, live stream. I didn't get the notification up, but eventually it'll start notifying people of the live streams and stuff. Yeah, I can name the levels, I think. I'm not really sure what exactly they work. I know that I have to pay extra for some of this stuff, but we'll see what we use first before I'm going to pay. Because I have no problem putting money into this, but like, and then the other thing I did too, and we don't have a lot of them yet because I haven't programmed them, but I also got the Me 6, which is the bot. So in Twitch, it's Nightbot. Yeah. Here it's Me 6, but if you type like, hi Tom, it'll do the reality, like back forward thing like we do in the channel. And again, they're not all in there, so. I just tried Discord. Can't find the channel you on. all of them were quiet. No, I'm on the one you're in. I just have my thing muted. Here. Is that better? Hi, Mikey. You're in the room already. You're in the right room. The room to go to is called On Air. So when you come in, I've been using Discord for PUBG. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you want, with PUBG, what's really cool, ran out of thoughts, is that you can come in here, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, is I wanted to make some rooms, but we have just voice channels, and they're general, and then there's 3 game channels. So you guys and your friends, you guys can all play in there. That, like, this is all open to the public. And then I'm also going to have a music channel where I'm going to be able to put in a bot that will have Spotify that we can play in there. So, like, if you don't have Spotify, you can go in there and just type, like, song request and, like, look up music. So you can have a way to access streaming music if you want, even if you don't have it. So, and then that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to equip the whole server to be this one-stop action when we integrate the gaming in with the show. Yeah. So anything that has to do with me as a comic will be under Corey Adam Comedy. So announcements, the announcements page under Corey Adam Comedy will probably be an updated roster that I would think is better than my actual page. So, yeah, no, King of Clubs. This is why I kept telling you guys when we switched. Like, there was big integration stuff coming. The problem is that I know what I want to do with all this stuff, but I just don't know how to do all of it. So I have to go to fucking YouTube, and I have to figure it out. Yeah, so right here, Ellie, if you go right on here, there's a Corey Adam tab. And what this will do is this will tell you the announcements. And again, all the gigs and stuff will be in here. The live stream, like will be here, which eventually the bots will actually notify Twitch and all the other stuff. So, and then videos will just be random videos or whatever. And I might add some random characters in there. I just wanted a little spot to promote. And then I will also have a category that'll just be promote yourself. So I'll have a category in there that will just be promotion, and anybody can jump in and promote themselves if they want to, which is super cool. So, and then, the other thing is that I will be integrating the sound in with it. So eventually you'll be able to come in here and you'll be able to watch the sound on Discord and not through Twitch. So you'll have it in real time, which is huge. What's up, King of Clubs? How are you? What's up, King of Clubs? How are you? Or not. Doesn't matter. All right, deafening myself again. So, and when you come in, so the on air is going to be when we're on air, when everybody's talking, it's just the on air thing. So, the Twitch app works like dog shit. Fuck Twitch. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's your internet, Mikey. Like, you have a lot of issues sometimes. Mikey and I have been playing a lot of Pirates. That's pretty cool. Clicked on the on air tab and there's no sound. That's Discord, and they're like, watch, check it out. Do it now. You're in here. You're unmuted. You're muted though. You have yourself muted. You have to unmute yourself. There you go. Now you can hear.
No, I understand I can talk, but there's no sound here. Okay, I can hear you talking through my laptop on Twitch, but as far as through the Discord app, there's no sound.
Oh, I know exactly
what
that is, because that happened to me. So here's something really cool that you have to disable on Discord. Every time you switch your sound source, so if you're listening to a different pair of earbuds, for instance, you have to go in the settings and reconfigure the audio. There's a way to turn that off so it just auto recognizes, but the way that does that is eventually Discord can learn 3 or 4 different audio devices and they just work. It's pretty cool. But yeah, if you go down to all the way down here by your name and you go to this little setting goggle thing, and then you go to voice and video, and then you actually have to set your microphone and your speakers if you've changed the audio source. It's kind of weird. Ends up working out all right, but it's weird. Oh, see? Did people move already over to the other thing? Bly Dog is hanging out in voice channels. That's not the right area. We want to go to on air underneath the TwitchTok show if you want to talk and join the show. Too much next. All right, whatever. Do you, boo? I don't give a shit. You curmudgeon. Yeah, this is the future. You'll be on board. It doesn't matter. Like, it's going to take you a while, old man. I got you. Don't worry. We got this. It's a little bit more complicated today, but the main thing, I'll show everybody. It's the easiest thing, you guys. It's not hard. It just seems weird right now. And this, for the most part, is what the layout's going to be, so it's not going to change that much. So right here where you see server stats, if you don't care about that, you can just click minimum, and then you'll never really see it again. You can also grab these and drag them around wherever you want them to be in your window, so you can customize them. You can put TwitchTok at the top if you want. Start here. This is just tutorial shit, so minimize that. Doesn't matter. Now, TwitchTok show, this is going to be where we use almost all the stuff here. So you go down. You don't even have to minimize. These guys are locked in. You got the TwitchTok. I just woke up from a nap and I'm crabby as fuck. I'm not dealing with stupid settings shit that I have to change today. All right, well then don't. I don't care. Check it out. It's a free country, baby. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Life is great like that. America, baby. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Mikey gets a pass. A special K? Well, you're too good to be in the regular room, you fucking prick. Run away. That's fun. It's super easy. But yeah, so then the other thing that's really cool is, again, if you are a gamer, because I know right now a lot of us aren't, but I know there's some that are. But going forward, there's going to be a lot of gamers on this network. And what I might also do is I might take down a password for everybody that was here early on in the show and just make a room called like OGs, and only the original us can be in there. I might do that. I don't know. It's whatever you guys want. I mean, that's the whole thing. Blydog got it? Hell yeah. Say something, baby. You're muted right now. You got to unmute yourself.
All right, I'm in.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Blydog into it.
If I can do it, anybody can do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is a little complicated. I'm not going to lie, but it's just the way that you can integrate it. I mean, because like Blydog, how many like radio shows or like things do you watch or participate in? A few, right? Oh, he muted himself again.
Yeah, you're pretty much it. That's all I got time for.
Atta boy. That's what I like, baby. But no, the whole idea that we can get this whole like integrated thing and have the show live like that, because this way anybody can talk and be a part of the show. But more importantly, again, if you are a gamer, and I know some of you are, you can come to our Discord and you can use these chats, like these game chats. They're just going to be open to the public, free. Like, fucking hop in, you don't have to use Ventrilo, you don't have to use any of that shit. You can just connect right to our fucking Discord and shit's all right. Boom. Let's see if we can. Oh. So yeah, and the thing is about it, whoops, there we go. And eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the sound integrated through the Discord so everybody can pop in and listen to the show audio on Discord, and the lag, I should have the lag matched so you don't even notice. If we do it all correct, which again, who knows? And this is what, I mean, this is what I'm talking about like working on shit. Like you guys see this shit. I mean, we made a bunch of fucking progress on this shit last night. And again, you can like the Corey Adams section. That's just for me as a comic. This is going to be text channels. These are just like, we have a moderator room, but the general, the public, these are all just rooms. Interact, do whatever the fuck you want. You guys have the keys, man. It's fucking, that's the whole thing with this, is that all the stuff here is going to be related to the show, and the on air is where we go. But fucking, that's huge, you know? Make you a moderator, give you the jets. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I can make you a mod on a Discord, but it'll be like a low mod. I'm not gonna. God damn it. No, I see. This is what sucks. But yeah, eventually I want to get this all integrated in. Ellie goes, "That's awesome, Corey. You've done ton of work." Yeah, I did a lot of work last night. I mean, look at that shit. Look at how pretty it looks with the little emojis. You know, you have to pop each of those in by hand. Ugh. That was a belch, and I don't feel bad. I want to drive the Twitch car. Give me the keys. No. You can have some Discord keys, but you don't get Twitch keys. Motherfucker. But yeah, and then we'll have like an admin room. We might have like a green room too where people can hang out. Like I put a lobby in one of them, I think. Or maybe I didn't yet. Lobby was the next thing I was going to get around to. But again, the real fun part is, again, if you go into a text, like here, let's go over to, anybody can go to it. Let's go to TwitchTok text and watch this. Boom. Rank. Look at that shit. And I'm leveling. And anywhere on the server, you'll be able to go, hi, Tom. And again, yeah, that's the real motherfucker. We're going to do that. But the thing with the audio matching is it's so fucking involved. You have to actually take the audio on your computer and lag it basically into Discord to get it to line up. Like, I figured out how to do it, but it was one of those things where when I found it, I was like, oh, shit. Because I didn't have enough time to fucking do it. I was all like, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to delay OBS, but you can time it to it. Right. And that's what happened to me. It's like I was fucking, it was like 6 or 7 in the morning at that point, and I was like, I don't know. But so again, it's a very integrated thing. We're going to have the bots are all over here. You can see who's bots and who's not. But again, you want server stats. They're up there. You can see who's here. You can start there and tell the welcome the rules, but nobody cares about that shit. You're making progress faster than I could have. I say cheers, man. Thank you. No, I mean, thanks. I mean, here's the thing. If this is going to keep going, I have to keep pushing it. I mean, you can't... A lot of times people get good at something, and I'm not saying I'm good at this. I'm okay. I'm getting better. But there's a lot of integrating, and there's a lot of streamers. Like, these streamers make more money than all of us, man. And it should be okay to do that. You're a bot? Oh, shit. A bot. But, like... The main thing is this Discord is going to take things. Because the other thing we're going to do too, and this, Ellie, you'll like this, I'll be able to put in virtual games. So you guys can pop into the Discord and you can play dice with one of the bots. You can play cards with one of the bots. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And the thing is I had to get the layout of all the channels before I could actually have it the way I wanted it. And I like the fact that it's not just dedicated to Twitch show, you know, because like you look at like even like these video channels down here. You have a bunch of different video channels that people can do. And again, once we get the music one online, it's going to be great because you can go do whatever you want. And I think 3 game channels is enough. But like if you have friends and you want to go game with them, you just pop in and boom, you're in. And people can see you and like maybe you get grief, but like I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anybody cares that much. Maybe they do. I don't fucking know. Mikey? Are you there, buddy? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
So here's the question, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I know you don't like it, and I know the settings are garbage. I get that. But, like, how about all the emojis I put in? I put each of those in my hand. Look at the little pill emojis.
Yeah, that's super busy, bud.
Yeah. No, it's like a busy little bee.
Busy.
Congrats on figuring it out, though. I'm proud of you.
Yay me. Now I want a cookie.
Yeah. We're going to put in some games. Yeah, we'll have dice. There's all kinds of games you can do with one of the bots. Like, there's so much shit you can do with this. And this is why Discord is gaining on, like, a lot of other platforms. It's so fun and it's so weird. And you have to set it up right. You have to make sure that your audience gets what they're owed. They get their goddamn dues. Say it correctly. Where is that? That one's there. Okay. Yeah, it'll be fun. And remember, so tonight is actually, even though we got started a little late and we'll probably cut a little early, like tonight's the last night, man. We're going to fucking days. We're doing this shit. We're going to go Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 to start out with. And if that ends up being shitty, we'll go 10 to noon. But then what we're also going to do is I'm going to grab some of my specialty podcasts like Sunday Night Fights, 4 a.m.? Not 4 a.m. 10. 10 a.m. 10. Damn it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Discord is a weird... It's a weird one. Oh, there we go. You wish you were gaming? Then fucking game. You wish you were gaming at 4? Blydog, pop on. Here, come on. Use it. You're in Discord. You figured it out. You got this. Ah, this thing is fighting me today.
What's up?
What up, dog? What up, Bly dog? Are you gonna be able to make the transition to the morning?
You'll probably catch me a little bit on the road when I'm running around.
Nice.
Or I'll catch you.
Whoa, that got weird. Just means we'll game at night. We'll still, and that's the thing, is we're still gonna do some stuff at night, but it's just we gotta move it around, you know?
Oh, I get it. I get it.
How weird is this Discord though? It doesn't even look like the same thing, right?
Oh my god, I went into it earlier and I was like, what the hell happened? What did I do? No, good shit.
Let's see here. The Savage Dragon D says, you were saying all this shit last night. Then I was surprised you're on tonight because you said last night was your last night until... No, I didn't. I never said that. I literally said tonight will be the last night. So we're going to finish out this week. That's what I said. Yeah, god damn it. Don't come in here with your bullshit if you're not even listening. Come on. Come on. Gah. Gah. Also, you missed the sweet tutorial of the Discord? And what the fuck is that, Mikey? That is scary as fuck. Is that like a pumpkin? Is that supposed to be like a skull? What the fuck is that? I don't even know. I don't like it. It's Donald Trump? No, it's not. Yeah, I might do Friday's Sisyphus. What I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to get Sisyphus to come in on it, but I might broadcast Friday's show from there with it, so. Where's Taxes Theft? I don't know. He's gone. Just watched the Wilder to Fury fight earlier. Stoppage. Bad refereeing. Wait, the first one you mean? Looks like a Corey Taylor mask. Yeah, it does kind of. Serenade mold. Could be, right? EMT stud 911. You're not subscribed, though? I see. You're too busy studying that EMT life, bro. Nah. You thought Wilder Fury 2 was an early stoppage? Ugh. Now you're just being... Jeff, get in Discord. See the new Discord, Jeff. I remade Discord. Also, EMT, how come you're not subscribed? Makes me sad. You trying to make me cry? That's what you'll get. You'll get tears. Boom. Savage Dragon D. Mikey Two Milks, is that what your new fuck buddy looks like? Ooh, damn. Gotcha. Brah. There we go. Fuck yeah. Okay, that's a bunch of fun. That's no big deal, man. I was just busting your balls.
What's up?
What up, dog?
Not much. How you doing?
Who knows, man? It's fucking crazy out there.
Shit's fucking crazy out there. What's happening now? What am I missing?
Well, I mean, I could break the news to you. Did you hear?
No, I guess not, since I'm asking.
Huh. Well, maybe I should hang up and text you this. This is gonna be bad.
Huh.
That's not
Okay.
bad. Chad Martin died.
That is unfortunate. And, not easy to hear, actually.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It is very weird.
Like, here's what I said is like I couldn't say that I was shocked, but it definitely it caught me off guard weirdly. I don't know. It's super weird because it doesn't surprise me. I mean, that guy was battling with some mental issues like health-wise for a while. I mean, he could not clearly see the difference between reality and Grand Theft Auto sometimes. And I love the kid. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. No, he's a really dope dude, and yeah, I mean, I guess honestly, a lot of the things he did was a little out there and a little weird, but honestly, I always thought he was gonna come through and probably be better for it, obviously, but.
Yeah, I think we all were hoping for it. I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I think this pandemic has like weird effects on people, you know? I mean, I know how isolated he becoming. I mean, like it got to the point where if him and I were talking about anything but MMA, like we were arguing, you know, cuz like he believed in like a bunch of weird stuff that I didn't subscribe to, which is fine, but he would get super aggressive that I needed to.
Yeah.
And it's tough, like you're saying, it's tough. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely loved his MMA, and I remember being you, him, I don't remember if Tovar was there or not with us, but at Sneaky Pete's or whatever, and he could not stop talking about being able to kick the shit out of Demetrius Johnson.
No, that's the thing, is he legitimately thought he could beat the fuck out of DJ.
Yeah, which, to be honest with you, I don't know if I didn't believe him, though, you know? Because it wasn't like Mighty Mouse was really kicking the shit out of people. But that's just lightweights and stuff, or that's that lower weight class and stuff, but... Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of tough to hear.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse is not the GOAT, Jeff. He's the most overrated MMA guy ever. But he probably would have beat the shit out of Chad Martin, objectively.
Probably. But, man, that is tough, man. I guess
right.
that's the whole thing.
That's why I was like, no, because I posted something about it, and, like, there's been people, you must not have been on Facebook, because, like, it's kind of been going around, like, most of the day today. And, like, it happened, like, on the 7th, and people just found out recently.
It happened on the 7th?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Right, and like by the piecing together of all of it, I mean, like me, Sawhawk, and Spadino were three of the last people to talk to him.
No shit.
Mighty Mouse is not GOAT, Jeff. Get into the fucking Discord if you want to argue. Don't fucking sit there like an asshole. Like, no. It absolutely, like Demetrius Johnson is not the GOAT. You know what he is? He's a pussy. And I'll tell you why. Every time he lost, he ran away from the person that beat him. It's not what real men do.
No.
That's all.
And also, too, he never once tried to go up weight class to see.
Well, because he knew he was dead.
He
was dead in the weight class.
Yeah.
I mean, if Dana White didn't like Demetrius Johnson and create a weight division for him to hide in, we don't even know who he is. He's just another guy that lost to Dominic Cruz. And then he rumbled around and beat a bunch of guys that also should have been fighting 10 pounds. I mean, it's not a real weight class. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be the GOAT if you're fighting at a fictitious weight class. You just can't be. Also, what makes you the GOAT? Here's the thing. You can't say he's the GOAT because now in MMA, the argument for GOAT has to have 2 belts. There is no such thing as a GOAT that was not at least a 2-division champion.
That's a very good point. Yeah, and also
Jeffrey
to
just
shut up.
goes, "What's your weight class?" Yeah, you don't have a fucking comeback to what I say, so you're just attacking. That's all you do, because you're the worst kind of human being. You're a guy that used to be fat and isn't, so now you're just gonna fucking fat shame everybody forward to all the fat shame that you got. That's what you're doing. Sad.
Also, too, Jeff, stop trying to fucking take over the conversation. We're talking about a friend of ours, you fucking prick.
Yeah, what an
Jesus.
asshole.
This isn't about MMA. This is literally, I was regaling the story, again, that Corey and I and Chad shared, and I'm telling it to all you people, and you want to fucking just take over the conversation? Come on, man. Not cool.
Mikey
Know your
Two
fucking
just
place.
did an ASCII art that looks like a band hammer.
Oh, Jesus.
Mikey's been on this kick where he wants to ban other people. Also, Mikey, can I give you a piece of advice? Just friendly, right? If you hit shift and then enter, it'll roll that first line of ASCII down so you don't have that first line cut off. Just FYI. It's a lame, sorry. No, whatever. It's not about anything, Jeff. It's about the fact that Demetrius Johnson is not the GOAT.
Yeah, that wasn't the argument really that we were having anyways. I mean, if we were going to have it, it would be between if Demetrius Johnson and Chad Martin had a fight, who would win. It's clear to be Mighty Mouse because Chad trained a little bit, but not nearly to the level of an actual professional fighter.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. He does have crazy, though. I do believe that if Chad got a really couple good shots when his back was turned, he could take him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if you can make him run and stuff like that. That's kind of thing. Like Mighty Mouse always wanted to run away from the fight, anyways. I mean, he would bring it to like certain guys if he knew he could outstrike them. But at that weight class, who gives a shit? You're
No,
not
that's
knocking
exactly
anybody
it.
out.
If he was the champ, here's how you know Demetrius Johnson is not the GOAT. Here's how you know. The motherfucker won. He never went back up and fought Cruz again. That already, in his mind, he knows Cruz is the GOAT. He knows that. And I'm not even saying Cruz is the GOAT. I'm just saying Demetrius Johnson doesn't even think he's the GOAT.
Right. I mean, if you really want to, if you want to go with a lighter weight
But yeah,
class,
Tovar
for some
just
time-
put, like, I just heard the news while I was detailing my car. So fucking sad. I'll be on after I make dinner. Fuck. And then he said, Chad hit me with a whip kick one time playing around and broke my hand. Yeah, no, Chad, here's the thing about Chad, too. The dude could fight. Him and I would spar all the time, and he would jump on me, and it was just like I am bigger than him. Like you want to talk about out of your weight class, right? Like, I'm like 3 times his weight class. And that motherfucker could still just get me to, like, take a step back sometimes. That's why I'm still not convinced that, like, Demetrius Johnson couldn't be taken by him. And he's the one that got me hard sold that he wasn't the GOAT.
Well, and, actually, just to speak even highly or more
Jeffrey
highly
Rogers,
about Chad,
Rogan has said Mighty Mouse is the best a bunch of times. Just saying, yeah, Joe Rogan has also said 20 people were the best of times. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Guess what he's been saying right now for, like, the last 2 years? Khabib's the best of all time. He said Fedor was the best of all time. He said Silva was the best of all time. Like, that doesn't
he said
mean
BG
anything.
Penn multiple
Right.
times.
Every single person he likes is the best of all time. It's how Rogan works. If you're going to be a fan, you should at least know the product.
Yeah, he's a selling machine. That's the whole thing.
Mikey just said, get in the Discord and talk about it, X-Fat. That's gonna be his. We're putting that in for him right now. That's going in. That's so funny. Mikey,
That is very funny.
you're making a real good case for getting that moderator. So here's something completely unrelated, right, Tom? So Mikey wants me to make him a moderator of Twitch, but I just don't think I can trust him.
I don't know. I feel
like he would get mad at people, and he would just go drunk with power.
Yeah, well, we get mad at people and get drunk with power all the time.
Yeah, but he doesn't
It's just
care.
that Mikey's
He's
not
more
a
of a
comedian.
nihilist than us. Like
Well, that's true.
you I can give power to, because you'll get drunk with it, and then you'll fucking second guess yourself. You'll get sad about it. You'll apologize a million times, and you'll undo it. Mikey will just smoke a joint, laugh, and go back to farm sim.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Actually, I was just remembering one story though about Chad that I'll share too, because it was when Tovar was living in Anoka, and Chad came out to the fights with us, and I drove him back, and I thought I was just gonna bring him all the way home, and then he told me like, nah, man, I don't live anywhere close to here, and then he has me drop him off at like a holiday in Columbia Heights, and then he said like, guess what? I'm gonna kick that motherfucker's ass. I'm like, you want me to stick around in case you need to like get out of here? He goes, no. I'm gonna kick his ass, steal his money, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I go, all right, man. And I really thought in my head, I'm like, oh shit, this is GTA mode for him now. Okay,
Correct.
I really should get the fuck out of here because now I'm an accomplice if he decides he's gonna rob this fucking place too.
Oh yeah, and he would. Like that's the thing. He absolutely would.
Yeah, and the first time I saw him do comedy was at Willie's. But I saw him 1 week. I saw James King the next week. I saw Chad Martin the third week I was at Willie's. And then the fourth week I saw James King. I go, this motherfucker can grow a hell of a beard in a week. And I was then called racist by a lot of people I told that to. So.
Well, I mean, my favorite memory of him is that he's the only person that I've ever gone in blackface with. And I know that's not politically correct or anything, but like, so one Halloween, Chad, it's my favorite thing ever, right? I should make those pictures public and just, like, let myself get canceled. I don't care. Like, so me and my buddy Chad, right? He's like, hey, man, you got to do this. You got to do blackface, right? And I go, I don't want to do blackface. That's weird. And he goes, that's exactly why you're the honky to do it. And I'm like, I go, okay, I'll hear you out. What is it? He goes, we're going to go as crisscross, but we're going to do blackface. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, but isn't one of them like super light skinned already? And he goes, yeah, that's who I'm going to be. And then we went in blackface to a Halloween party as crisscross with a Bluetooth speaker that just said jump, jump all the time. It was a Bluetooth speaker. It was on random on Bluetooth, and it was one of the funniest nights ever. And I had all kinds of people, including Brandy Brown was at that fucking party. And she looked at us and she goes, what the fuck? And I looked at Brandy and I go, hey, and Brandy goes, Corey, if you were anybody else, I'd be real mad at you. And then she looks at Chad and she goes, you should know better than that, brother.
Oh, that's the best Brandy Brown story I ever heard.
Oh, it was great. Like she got really weird with me for like a week and then she was over it.
Oh my God.
You clicked on the Discord link? Oh, is it? It might be done now. I gotta hold on. This is the one thing that sucks about Discord. I got you a link, buddy. Hold on. Give me 1 sec, buddy. Let's go. Here, whoops. No, hold on. There you go. That is the Discord. Jeffrey. If that is your real name. Which it probably is.
Jeffrey Ryan Rogers.
Yeah, who's like... Did that work? Did I spell it wrong? I probably spelled it wrong. I put him into the Nightbot.
Good for you.
Yeah, I did it while he was being a dick. And when you do exclamation point Jeffrey Rogers, it says ick. I hate X-Fats, pricks. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
It's not all about you being a crackhead, Tom. Just remember that.
You're right. It's not. God damn it.
There it is. Boom. What, did I spell it wrong?
Well, it doesn't really matter if you spelled it wrong. I mean...
Well, it didn't work one time and it did. Oh, so the R must be capitalized. Got it. We're good.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real weird time, man. I mean, it's so funny because I got so much shit for that. Like, people got mad at me about that shit, dude. Mad. And I was like, oh, okay. Sorry. And then the best was, I forget who it was, but it was like, it was an angry younger black comic who doesn't do it anymore. What the fuck was his name? It wasn't Sterling. Who the fuck was it? But anyways, this dude comes up to me and he goes, that's not cool, man, that blackface. And I go, oh, okay. And he goes, I need you to promise me you'll never do that again. And I'm like, well, I was never planning on doing it in the beginning. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like no shit, never again, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You don't get to do it twice. I mean, I think people have been killed over that shit doing it once. I mean, so yeah, it's never really a person's plan to do blackface even one time, unless they're just the most dumb fucking person. So Jeffrey Rogers, you've done blackface before, haven't you?
I don't know why
off.
it's not working on your phone, man. You gotta figure that shit out, bro. I don't know. It's weird. Sorry. But yeah, it was a really weird one, you know, because like the thing is that like Chad objectively was batshit crazy towards the end. So I'm not saying that I'm shocked, but it does hit me because he was such like he's the definition of a guy who like I watched him turn into like two different people, you know, and like the funniest thing, and this is terrible, but it's funny to me kind of, is the last time I talked to him and I were talking about him, like fucking, let's see. Tovar says, I remember seeing you and telling you I thought that was the stupidest, most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. I remember the Bluetooth speaker too. Yeah, I had a little Bluetooth speaker, and it was at Ricky Noren's house, and I just walked through the house. Me and him would walk through the house, and we just had a Bluetooth speaker that just played Jump Jump. And the moment it was over, we would just start playing it again. Because Criss Cross will make you jump.
Jump.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh, man. Honestly, though, I guess I kind of figured there'd be, this sounds cynical, but I figured there'd probably be one of these during, COVID or whatever, like, just not seeing people, like, just the
and that's
separation,
exactly the mental
depression,
thing, and like, I don't know, man, like, the word that I heard is he did it by jumping off a building, and that, to me, seems like a flash desperation choice. You know what I mean? That's not premeditated.
No. Not normally, unless you're...
And who knows? He might have been on a bunch of drugs and thought he could fly and he was going to fly. I mean, like, that's the other thing, too, is, like, just because he died like that doesn't mean it was a suicide. I mean, I guess, like, does it count as a suicide if you're on hallucinogens and you don't think it's going to kill you?
No. I mean, that's just... I mean, I guess technically you could say that's an overdose, kind of, I guess. I don't know, but...
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's the Bill Hicks line, like, stupidity killed him. Because, like, oh, cool, you think you're a plane. Try to take off from the ground. Tovar said we had all the money on you not being the one that made it, Tom.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be real. That it got pretty dark a couple times during the lock-in, going from work to home to work to home to work to home.
Oh, I know.
Very boring life. I can't believe anybody fucking
Why do you think we called and harassed you every night? You were our wellness check, Tom. You want to hear something fucked up about this show? We had a wellness check for Johnny K. He was kind of a dick, and then we're like, whatever. Do whatever you're going to do, asshole. Doesn't matter. You got really mad at us calling you a crackhead, and then we're like, yeah, but we're going to still harass him. That's because we love you, bro.
I'm the fucking crackhead.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
Tom Michaud.
It's good to know that I got friends.
It's not friends. We're more like acquaintances.
Don't fucking dumb it down here, okay?
Come on. You know what? Fine. Check it out. Fine. Because of the circumstances, you will get this one straight delivery. Yes, Tom, you are friends, and we are friends, and you mean the world to me, and I'm glad you didn't die. Don't get a big head about it, though. That's all.
I'm not getting a big head about it. I mean, the whole rest of the Twitch audience can get a big head on my behalf for it, though. That's fantastic. It's good to finally hear you.
Jeffrey Rogers says, I've seen you two hug. I hug most bookers. People that give me money, they get hugs. That's why you've never got a hug from me.
Hey, he booked us for that Christmas show for the National Guard or whatever.
How much he pay you?
I don't know.
Right. No hug.
$60.
No hug. No hug. No hug.
I don't know. I mean, I know I drove.
That shit was fun. That was a fun show.
It was weird for me because I just didn't know like which side of the room to necessarily talk to.
That's because fucking Jeffrey was all an asshole, and he's like, "Don't make fun of this guy."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Well, that's like literally the way you get me to make fun of that guy, you idiot. Why would I not do that now?"
Right. Just to give everybody the story, basically, you get to see, if you do National Guard shows, you get to all of a sudden see back tattoos in the middle of the show if you really want, because everybody's willing to show off their back tattoo.
Tattoos.
That was your tattoos? Yeah, that happened during your set, man.
I don't remember that set at all. Fun story about that set. When my phone got stolen, that was one of the sets that was on there, so that set's just gone. Like, It's funny.
Oh,
I don't
man.
have a lot of my sets like still, but the ones that are like gone are gone. You know, like it sucks.
Right. That does always suck. I know I lost a few sets when I ran on my phone.
Yep. The real Mo Hugger says, "How many hugs do I get, and can we do back to front hugs?" No.
What if he wants you in the back?
Wait, no. He's given a lot of subscriptions. Fine.
But does he get to be in the front, or is he behind you?
I'll have to recheck the numbers to answer that.
Good answer. Oh, the salesman. Oh. Well, this has been an interesting night.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah,
Ugh. Gross.
it is.
How you doing otherwise?
Oh, not bad. Still just trying to get in the swing of the new job and everything, so.
Yeah, are you finding it easier to get to the sleep schedule now, or what?
A little bit. I mean,
Sure. You still sound like you're fucking dragging ass.
yeah, I mean, that's because I was just, kind of getting the rundown of the towards the end of the night stuff, so trying to avoid screens or whatever a little bit here and there. So.
Screens?
Well, like they say that to get a good night's sleep now, you should avoid, like, iPads and your phone and shit, 'cause you just, always seem to sit with it, like, a foot from your face.
Yeah, I guess.
But,
I don't know. I've never had that issue, but I get it.
yeah, so.
I actually
But,
literally, I fall asleep during most, like, iPad movies I watch.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, a lot of times I'll just put in, like, a YouTube video or something like that of, like, I don't know, Irish music or whatever in the background and just fall asleep to
Jeffrey
that.
Rogers says, I'm owed a Christian side hug. Give me that Christian side hug. That Christian side hug.
Fucking Christian side hugs. Oh, God.
Mikey Two Milk says, apparently the post George Floyd world, Tom cannot find any crack. He seems a bit subdued tonight.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't want to be overjoyed as, get on the phone with you and then find out a guy who, I don't know, and that's the thing, it's one of the guys in town that did comedy that I actually have a story about, like, hanging out with outside of just bikes and shows.
I think that's
and
the
shit,
one
so.
that's, I think that's the aspect that's going to make this hurt, is I don't think there's anybody that did comedy while he was doing comedy that doesn't have a story about hanging out with him. Because, like, you hang out with him and it's just the funnest, weirdest time ever.
Yeah, like, you laugh more time. Like, he had so many weird things he would say or just do, and, like, his mannerisms are like how, like...
Mikey Two Milk says, oh yeah, the dead friend thing. My bad. How insensitive.
That's how you know he's still a decent person deep down, because he'll actually admit that.
He's not.
Come on. Give him some credit.
This is our last show at this time, Tom.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are you changing it to?
10. We got to go 10 to 1.
Okay.
And that'll start on Monday. Gives me a nice 4-day weekend, though. Woohoo! Hopefully I get some shit working better, because, like, the fucking... I installed that modem and shit. What'd you say?
Well, I'll give you a 5-day weekend, actually.
Well, no, because I still have steel toe.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess it's like a 1-day and then a 3-day weekend. Woohoo.
All right, fair enough.
Mikey Two Milk says, Tom gets me. That's why I don't make him wear a condom. We connect.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tom Michel.
Right.
How do you feel about having unprotected sex with Mikey Two Milks?
Not good. I mean, it's not a nice visual. I'll tell you that much.
Who do you think's on top in that visual, though?
I mean,
who? You? Him? Did you cut out at exactly the right time? Oh man, that's great. If that's where it cut out. Oh my God. Facebook, you are so funny sometimes.
hello.
Yo.
That's fucking weird. That's when it cut out.
Did you hear what I said?
Man.
I go, that was the perfect time for it to cut out.
Because I'm hearing you perfectly fine, figuring like it's not a big deal this time. We only were on the phone for like 20 minutes or whatever, and then it fucking cuts out.
This is why I like Discord better, man. Discord doesn't do that shit. Facebook's the worst.
Right.
But it's like you got to have something to go into the computer because like I can't just call people on my phone and have it go through OBS.
Well, and here's actually one thing with Discord, because there will be times where it'll show that I'm still on the phone or connected through voice, and then I can't hear anybody.
Yeah.
So then I just look at you and ask, go, "Hey, where are you? What happened to you? Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's just
well,
me."
the next
So
the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to get the Discord up and running in a way that I'm gonna loop the sound through it so that people can listen to the channel in real time in Discord. So that way they don't even have to fuck, because it's like there's like a weird lag to it right now.
Right.
That can be fixed, but I don't know how. I did all the fucking. You haven't even seen the Discord in a while. I completely redid the Discord.
What's how you added like several new chat areas for people?
Well, I added the emojis and stuff. I added all kinds of stuff. I added some game chats because, like, the whole thing is as this goes up. The thing about Discord that's interesting is the more people you get in your Discord, the more casual people just find random Discords, and the bigger it gets. So it grows exponentially if you look like it's a decent channel to begin with.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, and then like there's people like so because like here's what happened. I started this Twitch shit, right? So. Right. I looked online and I was like, okay, what's the easiest way to get to a point where you can monetize for some profit? And Twitch was it. And then when I looked Twitch up, it was like just all these different tactics, one of which was Discord. And then I looked up Discord and there's all kinds of like promotion and shit that people are making money on there too. Fucking crazy. Oh, in comes Jeffrey. I see him. Let's see if he can do this by himself now. This is great. Don't tell him anything. I want to watch.
No, I don't plan on telling him anything. Oh, fuck.
I want to see if he can find this. He has to go to TwitchTok show, and then he has to go to the on-air room. He's already in the server, Ellie. He's right here in the server. He just has to figure out how to do it. Do we think he's gonna? I feel like he's not.
He's probably not. So what do you got going this weekend, man?
Sisyphus on Friday, and then...
Fuck you.
Nothing, really. I mean, basically, I'm just trying to get... So tonight, I did a bunch of work and got the modem all up and running. So now I've got the better stream stuff, theoretically, so it should stop the internet connection problems I was having.
Yep.
But we'll see if that... I mean, who knows if that works. But then from there, it's just fucking a bunch of garbage. Like, it's literally like, I gotta keep doing this Discord thing. So in Discord, there's like 5 different bots that I have to work with now.
Mm-hmm.
And so like one of them, I'm going to be making a game channel and like people can go in there and play like dice and cards and shit. And then there's also, this is kind of the one I'm really interested to get up and running though. So I made a music channel, right? Yeah. And they have bots that have like license access to like Spotify and shit. So you can like hang out in the music room and make a request of a bot and it will just play the song you want.
Well, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So like if you're ever like around, you just pop in, hit it and go.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Yeah. Look at you making all the moves, man.
Well, I mean, it's not even about making moves. It's about the fact the move was already made. The move was to Twitch when the pandemic started. Now, I mean, here's the reality that nobody likes to talk about, Tom. Like, innovation. Innovation is the biggest blockade to monopoly ever. Like, for instance, look at comedy as an industry, right? As a new comic starting out, what was the biggest problem to getting hired and working?
Lack of communication. Generally, no.
No, I mean those are all things that they had to work on. But the biggest obstacle that they couldn't work on is people at the top that weren't progressing and they weren't moving on. So you had this blockade at the top, right? And now what this does is this shakes it up in a jar and redistributes it. And like some of the people that were at the top will never be at the top again. Some of the people that were at the bottom will start out in the middle. Some of the people that started in the middle will never do it again. Some of the people on all levels will never do it again. I mean, this is shaking it all up. And this is what comedy is now. Comedy is going to be a mesh of live and virtual entertainment because we're heading into the next century. That's what the thing about this coronavirus is. It's not this giant curse. It's not this big thing. Yes, it's psychologically damaging, but this is what we should have been doing for fucking the last 20, 30 years. We've had the technology. We're just sentimental about our old human connections, you know?
Correct. That is correct. Huh. So I went over to Facebook and saw your post. Nice post, man.
Whatever. I'm going to post the... I still... Do I have the balls to post the blackface picture?
I mean, I think you have to.
I feel like I know better than that, but I also feel like I have to.
Well, I mean, maybe at least just do it in the comments of your own post.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that. I would do it as a story, and I would like explain it and show it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
But at the same point, I just don't care. But I feel like Chad would hold it against me if I don't. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, that is true. He would hold it against you.
We got some infighting going on.
I don't know when he would hold it against you. I mean, you don't believe in an afterlife, and I'm sure.
I believe in an afterlife, just not a Christian afterlife.
Okay, fair enough. What are you saying? There's infighting? What am I missing?
Yeah, Mikey is fighting with looks like Savage Dragons D, maybe. I'm gonna eat fresh pineapple. Question: do I shove it up my ass leaves first, or the other way around? Mikey loves that. If you can sync Discord right, maybe you can use your phone on Discord. Yeah, you can use your phone. Ooh, somebody clicked in. I heard it. Doima, what's up, buddy? Wait, let's go. Hold on. What up, Doima? How are you?
Not so bad. You?
Good. Hold on. We'll get to you. We're talking to Tom right now.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just getting on. I just got off work.
Channel looks weird, right?
Yeah, just trying to navigate the new shit.
Oh, Doima's just he popped into Discord and he's trying to navigate. All right, I'll be right back. But yeah, so the I want to read this infighting for you, Tom. Savage Dragons D, Gingerbeard. I wouldn't think too highly about unprotected sex with Mikey Two Milks. Didn't he get the clap twice from the same whore? And then Mikey Two Milks says, Savage Dragon Z, that's all got? Same worn out bit from a year ago? Get better, dude. You're really disappointing tonight. It's pretty good. And then he wrote, Savage Dragons D, I mean, not that any of your comments on here or Steel Toe in the morning show are ever funny. And way to work the dick joke into your Twitch handle. Super original and funny, bro. Do better.
Jesus.
The real motherfucker says, I would so rather be at Cinema Grill than in my garage for a show. Yeah, that's fair. My shadow says, what the fuck is this? Is not if. Sure. What do you mean, what is this? Mikey Two Milks, no fighting, just putting him in his place. Jeffrey says, you are completely correct. I have no idea how to go live on this Discord thing. Mikey Two Milks says, he can't come at me with weak tea like that and keep rehashing the same old bit for a year and be taken seriously. Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, you go to the on-air section, Jeffrey. That's right. Oh, is Mikey Two Milks? Seriously? There we go. Yeah, so there's some infighting going on, man. They're in there.
Well, I hope you all just settle down. Realize that it ain't.
They're all riled up. Sounds like some people need some nappies.
Sounds like people just need to figure out that the internet's not really worth fighting over that much. I mean, if there's going to be anything that's worth fighting for, it's in real life. I mean, not on the internet. You ever see an internet fight actually end properly? People realize, like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what that boxing match was between like Pootie Pie or some shit.
Oh, those fucking morons. See, that's you can't have an internet fight be settled in real life. It just looks fucking foolish, which it is, because that's what people who get into internet fights really are. They're foolish. And that's just a better way of me saying that they're complete fucking morons and they need to grow a pair. I mean, I don't know. these people in person because they're worthless. But, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Whatever I gotta say.
And that's exactly it. Like, it's fucking worthless. They don't care.
Yeah.
None of that matters.
It's true.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just weird because they don't care. You know, like, that's the thing about the infighting shit, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah, sorry to ruin your evening like that.
No, you're not. I mean, you're not ruining it. Like I said, I mean, Chad's one of those guys, though, too, when you saw him, you didn't. I mean, especially there, like, after he was done with comedy and stuff like that, and he started going on the GTA stuff and, you know, really got into.
Well, that's the thing that's so weird to me is, like, the last time I heard or saw him or talked to him, we were talking about how he was going to fake his own death.
Right.
You know, and, like, he was talking about all those millions he got, and, like, obviously he's talking GTA.
Right. Jesus. See, that's what I just don't understand, man. Like,
yeah. I don't know what's happening, Mikey. The thing just keeps spiking. It's probably because I didn't port forward this fucking modem beforehand. I literally just changed the modem today. I was on the phone with Comcast and everybody for like 3 fucking hours, dude.
Jesus, you should be burnt out.
Oh, I'm totally burnt out. This day has been just a hodgepodge of getting fucked. Like, I woke up, I had to go fucking drive over to pick up some shit. And then on my way back, I come back and I start calling. So I got this new modem, right? Yep. I have a show that I have to do at 6 called the Steel Toe Corey Show, which did not happen. I get home at 4 and call Comcast, and I think 2 hours should be enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you'd be wrong, Tom. The whole ordeal took like 2.5, 3 hours, probably. No, probably 3.5, 4 hours. And like, here's the best part of it. I literally took pictures of the time logs. So we have, okay, here we go. You ready? So we have 30 minutes was the initial call to Comcast, right?
Yep.
58 minutes was the second call to Comcast because when they were transferring me, they hung up on me. 16 minutes was the time that it took me to call Netgear because, of course, when the modem wasn't working, they told me I had to call the manufacturer.
Right. Of course they did.
Yeah. And then 24 minutes back on the phone with Comcast. Right?
Yep.
And then 2 minutes on the phone with Netgear. And then back rounded out for another 19 minutes on Comcast. That was my day.
Jesus.
And then I finally get everything working. So they get it up, and then I have to reconfigure all of the fucking IP address. I got to make sure the computer can connect, all this shit, right? Redo it all.
Yep.
So then I get that all connected, and I'm getting ready to go on, and I get a call from Ted fucking Evans that Chad died.
Ted fucking Evans.
And I'm like, God damn it.
Yep.
Holy shit. Did Jeffrey Rogers actually make it in? Bullshit. He's connected and in the Discord, Tom. He made it.
Jesus.
He figured it the fuck out.
Well, I guess the apocalypse can finally happen then, because Jeffrey Rogers figured something out on the night.
Yeah, right?
Let's call this one over, guys. This world needs to end.
It's kind of funny.
Do it.
All right, well, Tom, you have a good night, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man, and I'll talk to you, later in the week.
Yeah,
by the way, what's the show at Sisters on Friday? Are you headlining
Friday,
or what are you
8
doing?
p.m. Headliner is Chris Maddock. Feature is Ahmed Khalaf. MC is Corey Adam.
Ooh, fun show.
Yeah, we're going to bring the open mic back eventually, but the reality was we just didn't want to have that many people in the room. Because if you have the open mic, what is that, 30 comics?
Yeah, unfortunately, just way too many fucking idiots.
Right, and then they stay because they want to help the show, and then halfway through the show they leave, so now you have 40 seats that, like, aren't there.
Right.
You should come out, though. I'll see if I can get you a spot, like a guester.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can always just drink beer, and have some fun that way.
I doubt that. I've never seen you do that.
You've never seen me drink beer and have fun?
No.
I literally was just there last Saturday having fun.
Yeah, I
beer,
heard about that. All right, man. Well, have a good sleep. I I will hit you up if I don't see you this weekend. I will literally. I'll hit you up like Monday or whatever. So like, what's your schedule on Monday? How do these days work then?
Well, lunch, I can take pretty much whenever after like 10 o'clock. So, because
Okay.
the crew, the guys I supervise for first shift, they take lunch at 10 o'clock to 10:30.
Sure.
So, I mean, pretty much any time in there, I can take like half an hour and just, like I said, go out to my car or whatever, and whatever works best for you and stuff. But yeah, I'll get over there on Friday. I'll go over to the show and stuff like that. I'll hang out with you guys and stuff like that, and we can talk about it more.
All right, sounds good, buddy.
All right, man. You guys all have a great rest of your week, and Corey, I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, Tom.
All right. Bye.
That was our good old friend,
Tom Michel.
who is, of course,
I'm a fucking crackhead.
and
Well, it's just that dope cuck life.
all right. A lot of chit chat going on in here. Hi, how's it going, guys?
Oh, not so bad.
Yeah, good. What do you one with my shadow? What do you want me to say again? Whatever. Let's see. Jeffrey, what up? Did you get it working? Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sounds good, buddy. Good job. Look at you. You can be taught.
Yeah.
You need to end this Demetrius Johnson fandom. He's terrible.
No.
Yeah. Like,
I'm always going to favor the little guy, and anybody named Mighty Mouse is going to be my hero.
I mean, that's fine, but your hero's a fucking idiot, and he'll be remembered as basically the king of a division that's not around anymore. He's not good, and he never was.
What other fighter in the history of MMA or boxing or what have you did they create a division for that person to dominate? So I'm throwing your own argument right back in your face.
Ronda Rousey? Are you fucking kidding me? Almost every women's division? Do you even know MMA? You'd say bullshit like that? Are you kidding me right now? Because, like, they literally created women's MMA because they wanted to sell Rousey. And also, with Demetrius Johnson, they created it because he was going to walk off his contract after he lost to fucking Dominic Cruz. And every single person that he beat, not named Henry Cejudo, has never held a belt ever in any other weight division. And all of them in that weight division are cut down. Even Joseph Benavidez couldn't win a belt when it depended on it.
Well, let me throw that logic back in your face.
Okay, let's go.
How many champions has Daniel Cormier defeated?
Lots. What are you talking about?
Oh, you went and got another Carb Smart ice cream?
Stipe Miocic is the only one that I can think of, but...
Well, that's again because you're dumb and you don't understand fucking MMA. Dan Henderson isn't a champion? Are you nuts?
Dan Henderson was way put out to pasture.
That's not what you said, though. See how you're changing it now?
And it's not like you took the belt from Dan Henderson.
You didn't say take belt. You said how many champions has he beaten? He has a win over Anderson Silva. Is that good enough for you?
EC has a win over Anderson
Yes.
Silva?
He has a win over Frank Mir. He has a win over Antonio Silva. The list goes on. You could not have picked a less defensible viewpoint.
I keep hearing this in like a round.
In what?
In like a round. Every time that I hear you speak, then I hear an echo of it, and
Because
then
you still have your Twitch volume on.
Ah.
If you turn off your Twitch volume, I don't have it. This is on me though. This isn't your fuck up. This is mine. You don't have. Like, so Discord has a way to sync the audio with Twitch, but I have not done it because I was too busy doing the layout stuff. Like, it's all gradual process stuff.
Ah, now it went away. That's so much better. Thank you.
Yeah, because there's a lag, and it sucks because you can't just listen to it on Discord and watch it because there's a lag.
I just didn't want to be a dick and talk over you in any capacity because I think your points are valid. But I kept hearing it over and over and over again. It was
Mikey Two Milk says, Mikey Two Milk says, ugh, he even sounds ex-fat.
Aw, well, I'll ex-fat, put him in a fucking omoplata and watch him cry like a little bitch. I don't know. He can say whatever he wants.
Is no one awake on that? What are they fucking... Something went on.
Can you hear me okay? Do you hear the boxing I got in the background? I can turn that off. I don't know.
No, you're fine. I'm just trying to see. These people are flipping out because I missed something. Just trying to figure out what it is. They're still fighting. Corey, say that again about comics. What about comics? I don't know what you wanted to say.
I'm not sure.
Whatever.
Fuck, hey, listen, your comic comment?
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying. I don't care anymore. But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why Demetrius Johnson isn't the greatest. It's really...
He's the greatest little man of all time.
He's not. He's fighting in an imaginary division, and every time he's fought outside of it, he's been beat. That's not a real division. And a real champion, a real greatest of all... Let me ask you, like, are you a big GSP fan?
Yeah, I love GSP.
Sure. What did GSP do when Matt Serra beat him?
Took 3 years off.
Right, then what did he do?
Came back and beat the fucking brakes off of...
Sure.
Who was it? Cowboy?
It was Cowboy. No, it wasn't Cowboy. It was Serra. He beat Matt Serra after Matt Serra beat him.
Yeah, but Matt Serra also got, like, just shook.
Doesn't matter.
With a spinning back fist by Shoney Carter.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that a real champion doesn't dodge people that he lost to. Like, for instance, with Demetrius Johnson. In the UFC, he lost twice. He lost to Dominic Cruz, and then he hid in a division underneath it. Like, that's not champ shit. And then he fights Cejudo, barely, like, edges one out that first time. Like, that round one where he got those punches and knees. That was an error of Cejudo's head movement that Cejudo didn't do. And then he loses just barely a fucking split decision.
I don't know. In terms of style, technique, and all-around fight game, Demetrius Johnson is a five-tool guy. Just like
he's not, though. I'm telling
Curtis
you. Look at his fucking... Okay, but check this out, right? Look at his fucking tapology. Like, who outside of the John Dodson have you even really heard of? Like, John Morega? Because that's the thing, is that he stayed in a watered-down division, and he beat up people that he beat over and over again. Like... That's not champion shit. A real champion, a real greatest of all time, when they clear out the division, they go to another division. Always. That's what BJ Penn did. Hell, even GSP got a belt in another division. But Demetrius Johnson knew that he could never hang in that other division. And he knew it even more when he lost to Cejudo. That's why he tucked tail and ran over to Japan. Like, you lost a fucking decision, a split decision, and that was a great fight, to a guy that you knocked out previously, but now he's got your number and you know it, so you run. Cruz beat your ass and you had no chance and you know it, so you ran. Then you're what? You're going to hang out and beat Joseph Benavidez a couple times? Ian McCall? Something called Ally Bugatinov? Like, it's anybody can look like a world beater if they're up against scrubs. Anybody. He is the most overrated man in MMA history ever. And you don't have to agree with that because that's highly controversial, and I get that. But this idea that he's the GOAT, that dude doesn't even roll into top 5 of GOAT status, even if you go down to the little guys.
Who's your top 5 in little guy MMA? Let's cut it off at 185. That breaks it all the way down.
Well,
to
I mean, you have to. If Khabib gets to 30 wins without a loss, he's the greatest of all time, right?
I mean, what I'm talking about, this guy's only got 3 losses, and they were all by decision.
Right, but he only has 3 wins over anybody that matters. He hung out in a division and racked up a bunch of no-mattering wins. It's why nobody watched him. It's why the division was dead when he was the thing. All of the people that enjoy watching it, yes, he's good at practicing. I'm not saying he doesn't have good technique. I'm saying he's a coward. Every time he lost, he ran away from the person that beat him. And he hid in a division underneath Dominic Cruz where they could have had the era of the super fight because he knows that there was no way he could beat Dominic Cruz. They had to create a weight division for him to hide in. And the moment Cejudo finally got wise to him, he dips out to fucking 1. Where again, he's hiding in a weight division underneath where he is. He came up his entire life fighting at a weight division that when he lost to Dominic Cruz, he never fought in again. That's not champion stuff, man. It's just not. And I don't care how entertaining he is to watch. He's a great technician. I mean, some of those arm bars he throws from out of nowhere is crazy fun. Like the one, like, it was like the fight, was it Ray Bohr with the arm bar out of nowhere where he just jumped up and arm barred him or something? Or was that Tim Elliott? I forget.
I'm just a really big fan of anybody that rolls Berimbolo in UFC. If we're talking about high-level sport jiu-jitsu competition that he's throwing into a cage, the guy...
Sure, but then, like, what's your weight cutoff then? What's your absolute, like for small guys? Because I can give you like 5 or 10 people probably that are better than him out just off the top of my head.
Well, I would tell you that if Demetrius Johnson would have cut weight to get to a division, he might be fighting at 125 or 120. But we have this every 10-pound weight system where nobody fights where they should be, and people cut to the lowest possible gram or ounce.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like he walks around at pretty close to bantamweight. It's not like he really was cutting down. I mean, he was, if anything, he was bulking up to go up a little bit. I mean, that's just his body frame. I don't think like cutting down would have been anything. I mean, like he was basically holding his own up until when he found Dominic Cruz. Also, another loss that he has is fucking Brad Pickett. You're telling me a guy that lost to Brad Pickett is the greatest of all time?
I don't even know who Brad Pickett is.
My point fucking exactly.
Well.
And it's not just you. I'm not mad at you. It's just something that, like, it keeps getting thrown out all the time at me. And they're like, well, Rogan said it. It's like, bitch, Rogan says everybody's the greatest. That's what he does. I think, like, even jiu-jitsu, I think Ortega's way better at jiu-jitsu than Demetrius Johnson. And that's only, like, a weight class up. I think Zabit is better than fucking Demetrius Johnson. That's a weight class up.
If we're talking about pure jiu-jitsu in MMA, I don't think that there's a better argument than for Hickson Gracie's kid Crone. But that's pure jiu-jitsu.
But that's not pure. Like, yeah, but I'm saying like fighters that I think could also beat him. I think Ortega beats the brakes off Demetrius Johnson if they ever fight.
Or Mackenzie Dern might even be a better candidate for the best BJJ practitioner.
And I think if you're going, no, I think Gilbert Byrne is probably the best practitioner. Well, I mean, I don't know. Damian Maia's real good too. Obviously, we're getting up there in weight now when we go to welter, but.
BJ Penn was a phenom. He's the only professional fighter to get his black belt in 3 years, which is unfucking heard of.
I thought there was another one that did that recently.
I mean, if you go online and look at get your BJJ black belt in 3 years, you'll find a bunch of bullshit, but nobody that's going to be worth their salt in a competition doesn't spend 10 years or more acquiring that level of...
Yeah, because like how many years did you say?
10 is the average for a black belt.
No, but like 3 years you said?
BJ Penn got his black belt in he got it from Jean-Jacques Machado.
I feel like most people couldn't get their purple belt in 3 years.
I mean, I've been doing it for 4.5 years, and I only have 2 stripes on my blue belt, and I think I'm ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a big fan of I like watching the little guys go. It's very tough to.
I always just hated him. Like I like the little guys a lot. That's why I hate him so much. Like, cause I wanted Dotson to knock him out so bad. I love Dotson. Dotson was good.
Yeah, Dotson's really chippy. He's got a lot to say. He's a great fight promoter. He loves to talk shit. He's your I don't know, whatever, Conor McGregor-esque fucking shit talker. I love that. That's the same reason why so many people like who's the guy that went against his entire gym? Blonde guy, 155er.
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Cody Garbrandt left Uriah Faber's gym. I love the attitude, but I don't know. I think Mighty Mouse is a hell of a tactician for his size and his build, and
I just don't think so. And I think, like I said, like the next weight class up. I mean, like he just like you go from flyweight back up to like let's say bantamweight, right? Like I don't think DJ. So flyweight to me, it's a made up division. Almost all those guys should be fighting in bantamweight, but they know, like the UFC knows that the bantamweight is going to be all scrubs that they were going to feed to. Like Mighty Mouse is like an inside job. They wanted a greatest of all time practitioner, so they created a weight class for him. They were doing tournaments to find him challengers because it was so not a weight class. And when you go
when
up,
I say goat, when I say goat, I mean in his own division. I mean,
but
obviously,
he was.
the
But I'm
greatest
saying he's
fighter.
not. He wasn't, because his own division is bantamweight, and Dominic Cruz beat him. So he wasn't even the goat in his own division. Henry Cejudo beat him.
How long did he carry the belt in that division for? Wasn't it
Never. He
2.5
never had the belt
years?
in that division.
Did he go undefeated for 2.5 years? I'm just looking
at flyweight. Like flyweight, he got the belt. The flyweight belt was an inaugural, but he never held the bantamweight ever, and that's what eliminates him from being a GOAT candidate already. Because like going forward, Conor McGregor changed MMA irreversibly. Going forward, to be considered the GOAT at all, you have to have been a champion in 2 weight classes. That's just the new requirement. If you haven't been a champ in multiple weight classes, you aren't even in the conversation for GOAT at this point.
I don't think Conor McGregor's in the conversation for greatest of all time at all.
I mean, then you don't pay attention to what he did for the sport. I mean, he single-handedly elevated it to where it was. Like, there is no WME era without Conor McGregor. There is no UFC on ESPN without Conor McGregor. None of that happens.
I'm just saying, once he acquired both belts, he lost 4 fights in a row, not including Floyd Mayweather.
That's not true at all. You're just giving fake stats now. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I will pull up Conor McGregor. I'm doing it right now. Conor McGregor record in the last 5 years. He's won 2 fights.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. You said he lost 5 or 4. He didn't lose 4 because he beat Diaz the second time around.
McGregor lost in 2016 when Jose Aldo. And I'm sorry, 9 more rows.
Where you go to Tapology.com. That's the best site for that, FYI. Tapology is the best because it's like boxing rec. You can just look at it.
Lost to Khabib, beat Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, lost to Nate Diaz.
Beat Nate Diaz, then lost to Nate Diaz.
And beat Eddie Alvarez, lost to Floyd. He had 3 in a row. I'm sorry.
Right, but you said
wrong.
4.
I was off by 1.
But you also said, but you were actually off by 2 because you said not including the Mayweather. Like, you were completely wrong. Because you said not counting Mayweather. That's what you said. So if you take Mayweather out of that, he is literally, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 1 and 1, 2 and 1, 3 and 1, 4 and 2, 5 and 2. He's 5 and 2 over his last MMA fights, like his last 7. And if you go back before that, it goes up even more because he didn't lose up until that point. Last time he lost before that was like Duffy, I think. Yep, God, I know a lot about this. I'm always impressed when I say something like that. Oh, he lost to this guy, and then I'm looking it up and like, yep, no, that's cool. But yeah, it's like the thing about Conor is that no matter what you feel about him, he was the first MMA champion to have 2 belts at the same time. And he was such an impact and revenue driver that now in that time we've had 4 others? Like, think of that. Think of all the years UFC existed and no one in the history of the sport had held 2 championships at once. Now it's like what you do. It's the new standard for GOAT.
Heavyweight, light heavyweight. I think Randy Couture was one of the first that ever did that, right?
Yeah, but he never had both belts at the same time.
No, and
BJ Penn was good. And yeah, George St. Pierre was able to beat Bisping, so he ekes into there. But Anderson Silva is no longer in the conversation for GOAT, 1 belt. If John Jones is done now, he's not in the conversation for GOAT, 1 belt. DC, Henry Cejudo, Amanda Nunes, Conor, BJ Penn, GSP, these are all still in the conversation. And even if you let's say we get rid of McGregor, because I don't think he wins anyway. I think if you're going just pure all of it, Amanda Nunes is the GOAT, right? Like, I think everybody agrees on that. I mean, like, she beat everybody that's ever held that belt, not named her.
Who pieced her up? Was that Thug Rose?
No, she didn't get pieced up by Thug Rose. She hasn't been pieced up in years. And she didn't even get pieced up.
Who took the belt? Who took the belt from Nunez?
She still has it. What are you talking about? She has both of her belts. She's a dual champion right now. See, this is where I say you don't know what you're talking about.
What I'm asking is, who did Rose take the belt from?
Joanna.
Young Jacek?
Yeah, it wasn't, and that belt is Shevchenko's now.
Yeah, Alexander Shevchenko, and she took that from Cyborg, right?
No, she took it from Cyborg. They're lower. Like Shevchenko's lower. So like you have Shevchenko took it from, I think Rose. I think she took it from Rose. Let me check.
Has Amanda Nunes lost in the UFC?
I don't know if she's lost in the UFC. She's lost 4 times in her career. Yeah, she lost to Kat Zingano.
Who also?
I think that's it, though. I think she lost. I'm pretty sure she lost like her first or second fight. Oh, no, she also lost to Germaine to me because that was like a big fucking storyline of like when they fought because she beat her the first time. But like what's crazy to think about is like, so like check out this murderous row of fucking like just, so this is every fight. So she lost to Zingano, right?
Yep.
And then she fights somebody named Shayna Baszler, who I don't really know. Whatever.
Shayna Baszler is now in the WWE. She's
oh no shit.
She followed Ronda Rousey's footprint.
Sure. So then so then from there on though, right? You have a win over Sarah McMahon. That's a quality win, right? But then it just like, and that's it. And then it just becomes murderers fucking row. Shevchenko, Misha Tate, Ronda Rousey, Shevchenko again, Raquel Pennington, Chris Cyborg, Holly Holm, Germaine Demine, and she just beat Felicia Spencer.
Wow.
That's like the greatest run of any champ. And that's, she's defended. She's also the first person to defend both belts at the same time, which nobody's ever done. DC is the only other person to defend both belts, but he didn't do it at the same time.
No. He was gifted one back after he lost it based on cocaine or whatever that John Jones got busted with, or picograms.
Well, and then he almost did. He had, like, that's the thing with Jones is like if Jones wasn't on juice, Cormier might have won that second fight. I mean, he was beating him until he got that kick to the head.
It's possible. That white guy, Gustafson, almost beat Jones, too. He looked tired, but I don't know if he got up and trained for that or not. Who knows?
Well, yeah, but then the second fight, Jones rolled through him.
Yeah, he just pieced him up.
That's the thing about Jones. The real motherfucker says, who is the fainting goat? Like, do you mean the bloat, like the biggest loser of all time? I would say the biggest loser of all time is probably Tank Abbott, because we all know who he is, and he won like 7 fights ever.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who Tank Abbott is?
Absolutely.
Right. And, like, have you ever looked at that dude's record? He was fucking terrible, but we all know who he is.
We're talking about UFC 1 through 9 when it wasn't winner take all. It was
fight 3 times a night. Yep. Get over there and fight 3 times a night, damn it.
And he would win at least one of his matches each night, but he'd get, beat by somebody who actually knew what they were doing. You can get in there and beat the shit out of, your dad or your uncle or whoever the fuck you might know is the toughest guy in town. But you put him in there with a practitioner, he's got nothing to do or say. Absolutely. I just rewatched UFC 1. They just put it on YouTube. Like, they released the entirety of UFC 1. Yep. The second fight where Royce Gracie was victorious, he took Mount, and the guy that he beat in the second fight, it was like probably 5 or 6 minutes. He didn't put him in a move, a submission or anything. He simply tapped out to top pressure. He was just he tapped out to the technique.
I just looked up Tank Abbott. His record is 10-15. How do we know who this guy is?
Because we all rented it on VHS in 1994.
That's what I'm saying. He's fucking garbage, but we all know who he is.
I mean, why do we know who Dan the Beast Severin is?
But Dan the Beast Severin was actually good.
Sure.
Like, Tank Abbott got knocked out by Kimbo Slice.
Did he really?
Yeah.
God, I want to see that fight.
It's
Kimbo Slice had crazy hands.
It's Elite XC Street Certified.
I watched Kimbo.
He did a lot of fighting in his later years outside of the UFC.
I watched Kimbo Slice knock somebody's eye out of their fucking head one time.
Yeah, no, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
His name is David. He went by Tank. It was an important distinction to him.
Kimbo went into the UFC and found out that there's a lot more to fighting than standing there with bare hands and throwing hands.
Yeah. Agreed.
Didn't Frank Mir take Kimbo Slice out and like knee bar him or heel hook him or something?
Yeah, Kimbo Slice took out everybody.
Well, I'm talking about when because he did make his way to the UFC and he had a pretty poor performance. I think he was 0-2 or 1-2 or something like that in the UFC.
Yeah,
it's almost like he got knee barred or heel hooked by Frank Mir. He was crazy.
He seems real nuts. All right, buddy, I gotta get running. Have a good night. I'm not gonna bog this down with your goddamn MMA talk.
All right, I'll turn my mic off.
All right, bye. There we go. Aaron, how are you doing? I see you there.
Good. I got stuck in a Black Lives protest. That was kind of fun.
What happened?
Nothing, dude. It was a peaceful protest, like most of them are. Just paraded along the street with them for about 2 miles.
Nice. Where are you? You're outside of Seattle, though, right?
Portland.
Oh, yeah, you're in Portland. I just want somebody that, like, lives close to there so I can hear about the Chaz. That Chaz shit is crazy.
Actually, Portland Fire and Rescue had vehicles in the protest procession doing medical support if people needed it and stuff.
How nice.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Who's that? Oh, Tova. What up, Tova?
I made burgers.
Yeah? How are your burgers?
They're pretty good. I think I used too much pretzel in the mix.
One with my shadow says, whoa, I almost fell asleep. Well, cool. Why didn't you? How do you wake up? You almost fell asleep, and then you're like, oh, shit. I'm awake now. I better talk some shit in a channel. Is what guy my brother? No, Aaron. Aaron is not my brother. He's my brother, but different. He's a good dude.
There are so many channels to go from now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did a lot of work on it last night.
How's the new internet?
Terrible right now, but we'll fix it.
You got it up and running?
Yeah, it's up and running off the new modem now. I have to do all the port forwarding stuff. I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
So it's like it's fine, but it's like super inconsistent right now.
Yeah, and that will be just because you don't have everything partitioned right.
Right.
Yeah, I can help you walk through it in the next couple of days for sure.
Well, and I, it's not even like that. I will take help for sure, but it's not even that I need
help.
What
you're doing.
Yeah, it's just that like I didn't have time. Like this was my day to day, right? I was fucking bitching about this earlier. So I literally, right? I get up. I have to go make some errands, right? I come back. I wait till the internet is freed up. I wait till about 4 because I figure, all right, this is gonna take 2 hours. I have to be online at 6, so I'll start at 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
It's really hard to get a hold of someone at Comcast right now.
Yeah, well, not only is it hard to get a hold of Comcast, but what they did is they did this fucking weird, like, daisy chain for Satan between Netgear and Comcast. Comcast is like, that's not our problem. So then they'd route me to Netgear, and Netgear's like, no, yeah, it is their problem because we fixed this and this. And then I would go back to Comcast, and I'd be like, this is what they said. And they're like, well, they're lying. And I go, well, I don't care because they say you're lying.
Yeah, bullshit. It's in the firmware, and it's just because they don't want you using their modem, so they're trying to give you a run. Like
also, when I called them out on throttling me, they're like, well, I don't know. You have this plan. I go, yeah, and look at what I'm getting. And they're like, oh. So we'll see if they unthrottle it. And then it's also funny because I got a free 30 days of that Xfinity streaming service or whatever.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing, and that's why they gave you that free thing.
Right. They're like, oh, this is an honest mistake, but here's some fucking, reimbursement.
So I've done rounds and rounds with them a bunch. So, like, when I went to go hook up my modem, it was like 5 minutes of please and thank you when I was done. You just got to get them to that point, unfortunately.
Well, what I didn't realize, too, and, like, I should have known this, though, but these motherfuckers are still charging me $20 a month for that modem.
Yeah. No, I had free modem rental, and I still didn't want it.
That's what I had. Well, when I got it, it was free. It was a free modem rental. But then what happens is they have these magical, like, fucking month clicks. They don't tell you when they happen. And then they just fucking, like, oh, by the way. So, like, I've been paying an extra $20 a month that, like, for, like, 2 years, which I could have just bought that modem outright for.
Yeah, you essentially paid for it twice in the 2 years that you've been paying for a modem for $20. Yeah.
Which would be one thing if it was like a super top end modem, but it's not.
No, I mean, And that's the crazy thing is that like their DOCSIS, their top of the line modem, right, is being outperformed right now by something that I bought that's 4 years old.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that's not surprising at all.
And if I went out and spent real money and set it up here, I mean, I could be running probably close to like 500-600 download just from Wi-Fi.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. No, that's the thing is the speeds in the last couple of years have really just. It's almost not even worth running hard cat lines with all the improvements that Wi-Fi's made.
Yeah. So then anyway, so I'm on the phone, right? Fucking, and I'm just like doing my shit, and then I finally get done with Comcast. I get Netgear. I get it to where I'm getting a signal, right? And I'm like, oh, cool. And then nothing's connected. My fucking lights that I use are Wi-Fi, so I have to reconfigure the lights. I have to just do all this other shit, right?
Oh, man.
And in the middle of that, I get a call from Ted fucking Evans telling me Chad died.
Oh, what a day.
Yeah, and then it's like, ugh. And then, like, I couldn't do the Corey show that I usually do for Steel Toe on Tuesdays because I had no internet.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I had almost as much of an infuriating day as you did, right?
Really?
Yeah, so I've never had a perfect car in my life as a mechanic, right? Like every car that I've ever owned in my life has had something wrong with it that I just lived with because I knew what it was and I knew it wasn't a big deal, right?
Yep.
So like today I get my rims back. I'm like getting ready to put the finishing touches on my car so that it's freaking perfect. And then like these two caliper slides on the caliper were like rusted, frozen in. So I ended up having to go spend another $90 on that to get parts to like finish just putting my brakes back together. And then this jack that I've had for 5 years, I was jacking the car up on the one side to get both rims, the new rims on, you know, and the jack broke. One of the cylinders for the jack just went flying out, and it just started bleeding fluid everywhere. So yeah, like today has cost me another $250 that I wasn't planning on spending at all, just so I could have a working car.
That's garbage.
Yeah, and then like halfway through, so like I'm just getting finished with that, and like I'm really feeling like super boastful about the car, and then like Audrey comes out and gives me the news about Chad, and I was like, God, just like deflated all the energy.
Yeah,
I
man.
had
Well,
about,
and
like,
then I
making
talked
my
to
car
Tom,
up.
and like I basically broke it to him.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I was just thinking about him the last couple of days. That
Well, you know what's fucked up, and I talked to Tom about this. The last time I talked to him, he was talking about how much money he made in cryptocurrency and how he was going to fake his own death. Like, that's the last real conversation I had with the man. And I'm pretty sure the cryptocurrency was like, you know, like Grand Theft Auto currency. But
GTA
still,
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, who knows if he's like, yeah. Because, like, the last conversation that I had with him, I was like, hey, Chad, I've actually picked back up playing GTA, and I'm a millionaire. And he's like, wow, really? He's like, that's actually really cool. He's like, most of the people that I play with spend all their money on RPGs and are broke as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That
weird.
sucked, man. Yeah, that's like, I've had so many, like, the three coolest people in the world that I know is like him, Chris Cleveteer, and like you know what I'm saying? Like he's right up there on that fucking list. They're just like the
Well,
coolest
that's the thing
people
about
in
him
the
is he was always cool. He was a cool dude, and people really like. He was always nice to people,
best.
treat people with respect.
No, I remember like a little bit that he wanted to be a film director, and like I was helping him on like all those short skits that were all fucking brilliant, man. And he never fucking finished anything that he was working on, and I always like. I hated that because he had so many good ideas and he had such a natural raw talent for shit.
Yeah, it's before his time, man. I mean, he'll always be the guy that like strong-armed me into doing blackface. I'll never forget that.
Strong, like yeah, a guy like Chad had to really twist your arm for that, didn't he?
He did actually. Like you laughed, but like I told him no many times.
Yeah. He probably just showed up with the overalls and the fucking makeup.
No, well, we had joked about it, and like we were gonna go as crisscross, and then he
Yeah.
showed up at my house with the fucking blackface paint.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Like, and then he's like, "Here, we'll do this quick," and I'm like, "Yeah, but isn't one of them lighter already? We don't have to do this." And he just goes, "Yeah, we don't."
I literally, yeah. I have a picture somewhere. I'll have to dig up because I remember seeing the two of you walking up to that house, and I don't remember what the fuck I was doing, but I was standing out front. Over by the trebuchet, And I saw you walk up, and I remember I just started laughing. I remember just calling you the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. And you were just laughing and having a good time about it, man.
Well, whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't know. Maybe it gets me canceled now or something. Who knows? I don't care, though. It was never, like, it wasn't a mammy blackface, or it was not, like, the way, like, yeah, it's inappropriate now, I guess, and it probably was when I did it. But I don't know. I feel like what we did was funny enough that it merited that, and one of the people involved was black, so fucking shut up.
Yeah. Well, like you said, he showed up to your house with the paint. It
yes.
wasn't your idea. But you can't tell. I don't think I've ever told Chad no if he ever wanted something.
No, and that was the thing, is he basically turned it into like, all right, well, if you're too scared, and I'm like, man, fuck you, let's go. And I remember just running through that house, listening to Jump Jump more than I ever thought I would.
Yeah, because it was just on repeat all fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the nights when we would just get fucking shit-faced at a comedy store or a comedy show and all head back to your place and fucking play UFC till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, man. This is going to be a big one for the community because I, me and Tom were talking about it. I don't think anybody knew Chad and didn't like him.
No, right. I mean, everyone was worried about him. Everyone thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know. Like, nobody's shocked about this. Like, takes us off guard and it sucks, but nobody's shocked. Like, makes sense. It's shitty to say, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, and like Kahak was saying, I was reading his thing just before I jumped on Discord, and he was saying like how he almost sort of expects to get a message in a couple weeks from Danny Rand going, "Gotcha, brah."
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with him. I mean, it's tough, man. It's a rough thing.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. No, and we don't even get to have do we get to have a funeral service for him? Is there like any kind of
the family's not doing us a funeral at all?
Well, they were at odds with him for quite some time, right? Like,
yes,
he had like been excommunicated or whatever, and basically had just quit talking to him altogether. So I can imagine. That fucking sucks, though, man. That sucks a lot because like I'd love to like get together with just a group of us and just trade Chad Martin stories,
Well, that's I think what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Because I think you're right. I think enough people just like love that dude to death. Like there was nothing. He was just like I said. Like there wasn't an uncool bone in that guy's body. Like that guy just had so much style and grace and just so fucking awesome. And you're absolutely right. Like he never fucking saw it. He never fucking saw how awesome he was.
Yeah, and I think that's the like overwhelming like common trait between people like that.
Well, and if I go back to that list, like the other two people that are on that list, like they don't acknowledge who they are either. Matter of fact, they both forsake it. I think when you're that amazing, it's just impossible to see it from your angle,
Well, and a lot of the times that like being amazing or whatever comes from not being amazing. Like not being amazing, but just not thinking you are.
No, I get that too. Well, the demons are what make the person, essentially, right? So like it's the yin and the yang, essentially.
It's just tough to take. It sucks.
Yeah, and the fact that like I hadn't really got to see him as much as I wanted to in the last couple of years because he just he's been so sporadic when he'd come around and it's like impossible to get a hold of the guy.
Yeah, well, and like it's just like, it's tough.
I mean, he'd have a phone sporadically. I remember sending him a message one time and I got a response from him like a month and a half later. It was just me like checking up on him to see how he was doing and shit.
Yeah, just I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. It's really caught me off guard. It's like I don't know.
Well, right. I mean, and that's the thing is like as much as you expect it anyway, as much as you know that like he's a troubled dude and like something like that was always going to happen, you're not ready for it. you're always gonna want more time with someone who's like that cool. Just the way it works, man.
Yeah. I don't know, and it's you just hope like he finds, you know, like some kind of solace with it, you know? I mean, like,
yeah.
Cuz like yeah, he wasn't in a good place, you know? Like
No, and like he had been homeless for, I mean, pretty much the entire time I had known him.
yeah, I mean, him and I had our first falling out cuz like I ended up having to like escort him out of here cuz like like he was hanging out here for like 2 months, which is fine, but like it was a temporary overnight thing, you know? Like
Well, and he was never contributing anything, you know, and he's like, he made himself the guy on the couch, which is fine. But I mean, it comes a point where you can't be the guy on the couch for forever, you know.
Yeah.
But it sucks. I mean, because the reality is, if you'd have let him stay on your couch indefinitely, that probably still wouldn't have saved his life, you know.
No. I don't think it would. I mean, I don't feel bad about it. It's very weird that the last time I talked to him, he was talking about faking his death.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
Like, that's super hilarious, actually.
And I don't like that, even that conversation, I don't feel like that's what this is.
No. Well, I mean, because he would always come, like, he lived in an alternate reality, and, like, that's...
Well, he seemed like he had some schizophrenia issues, and he definitely had trouble differentiating between real and GTA. Because that's the thing. At first, I always thought he was just, like, kind of a, like, outrageous liar at times, but then I realized, oh, no, he's talking about GTA.
Yes.
And then I remember when he went absolutely heyday in our MMA thread, and we had to kick him out. Or we didn't even kick him out. He started a separate thread.
Yep. No, and then we were part of that for a while, and then he eventually left that.
No, he didn't leave it. We did. I started the next one because you or Andy kicked me out of it, so I just started the one we're in now.
That's fucking funny.
It's not bad. Ugh. Yeah, so it's just been what an exhausting fucking day.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. I haven't even really smoked it all today because I'm just like, yeah, I'm just running around trying to get stuff done.
I've eaten nothing today.
That I had to do, man. I was getting like super hangry earlier.
Yeah, I'm getting hangry now, goddammit. And then like I was up all night fucking playing Pirates for a bit and then working on the fucking Discord. Like I did a lot of work on that fucking Discord.
Yeah, you did. I mean, it looks super fresh.
Yeah, well, it's kind of cool. Like if you open it up, are you on your computer or your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah, so it won't. So what's really cool about the layout now is that in there I added some voice channels, which are just game chat 1, 2, and 3. So like if you're ever cross-platforming with somebody, you can just pick one of those, and boom, you have a place that you guys can just go.
Yeah.
And there's no restrictions or anything. I mean, fucking go do it, you know.
Right.
And then we also did a bunch of. We got the chatbot thing working, the Hi Tom stuff, and then if you go exclamation point and type in rank, it'll actually tell you your rank and your levels.
What does that mean?
It levels so eventually there's going to be a game room and there's going to be like dice and poker and it'll level you up and rank it, and then we will also give away prizes.
Oh, I see.
But so yeah, if you just go like in there, just pick a different room that's not a voice channel, it doesn't matter which one it is, and you just go exclamation point rank. And then you can also do exclamation point levels.
Huh.
I told you, man, this Discord is going to be integrated. And then what we're going to do is I got to... there's a method that I just haven't set up, but it's a time delay that will eventually make it so that you can listen to Discord and it'll sync up with Twitch.
Nice.
The real motherfucker said you did do a lot of work, but you got to do it in that awesome apartment air conditioning. No, I don't. Like, my air conditioning barely reaches this back room. Like, it's a little bit cooler than out there, but like, this is not a fun room to be in. Ugh.
Posted a picture of the car after I got it done in Discord.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I just posted it.
Which one? In general? Where'd you post it?
Yeah, I posted it in general.
I do not see it.
Oh, I just posted it, so maybe it takes a second to upload. But it says it's up. It says it's up there.
Okay, let's. Oh, you posted it in that general. So the general is the text channel. If you look at TwitchTok, we have our own general room as well.
I see. Yeah, I put it in the other general
Yep.
room.
It'll
take me a second to get to it.
That's cool. So now in that room, Tovar, just hit ! And rank.
Yeah, I did that. I'm not ranked yet.
It should after you posted that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it ranks you by every interaction you have.
I see. I posted it in the other general, too.
Ooh, look at you. Getting that rank, baby.
Hell yeah. Where am I? What am I ranked?
There you go.
Rank number 3. I don't know what that means, but cool.
That means you're the number 3 most person typing in this Discord. Because it restarted after I started. So right now I'm rank 1, but a lot of that was me just editing all the bots. Also, there's something really cool too, is if you go in the channel room in the middle there, all the way up, there's a server stats. If you collapse that down, it tells you everybody on the chat and the bots.
Oh, okay. Why does everyone think I'm a lesbian? Because I drive a Subaru.
I don't know.
It's like the number one. Brian, when I first got that car, wanted to buy me a bunch of.
Well, it was like a big lesbian car for a while. I mean, it was like part of the outfit. It was like Birkenstocks and a Subaru.
You got me. I own a bunch.
But I don't
of
think it's like that anymore. I mean, like, I don't know. I see a lot of people in Subarus that aren't lesbians.
Everyone owns a Subaru, right? It turns out it's a really handy thing to live in a state that gets so cold.
Yeah. Well, it's a decent car. I mean, I don't know. It's like the original SUV.
Yeah.
You didn't do any favors with all those Indigo Girl CDs, Tovar.
First of all, fuck you, Matt.
I like how Matt, he's got those quick little bites, just in, out, in, out.
Speaking of some in-out, I got some news.
Is In-Out
Chris
Burger
D'Elia is Chris D'Elia is getting accused of being a pederast.
Yeah, I saw that. So what's, like, have you read any of that? Because I saw 2 people, like, because I saw Vincent posted something about, like, now that we know D'Elia's a pedophile, is it okay that I don't find him funny?
Yeah, he posted the thread, too.
Yeah,
so there's screenshots of him messaging, like, 15, 16-year-old girls asking to hang out, looking for nudes. Like, there's a whole thread about a girl that he was apparently grooming.
Ugh. I'll tell you guys, this doxing culture has gone too far. You can't even be a pedophile anymore. Ugh.
Do you know who's breathing a huge sigh of relief right now?
Fucking Weinstein?
Louis C.K.
Yeah, CK.
CK. Yeah, but like CK. In front of him. I didn't.
But it doesn't matter. CK is always gonna have that hate, and also I still to this day, the only thing Louis C.K. did is like, yeah, he's creepy, but like he just didn't realize he was Louis C.K. He didn't realize the power dynamic going in place when he said, "Hey, can I masturbate in front of you?" And the idea that like this dude gets thrown in with like all these people that are rapists is really weird to me.
Well, there's also, with this D'Elia thing, there's also some accusations of possible sexual misconduct. And,
oh, weird. You mean if you already are disobeying, like, social faux pas of I'm going to fuck a kid, you don't stop when that kid says no? Fucking weird.
I know, but it's still, like, it's still weird and just in general, because he also played a high-end comic / pedophile on some show called You that was on Netflix. So there's just this weird irony on top of that.
I met and hung out with him, and like he seemed kind of weird. Like him and Swartzen are pretty close, and like he's a really weird guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been kind of just trying to read
Swartzen is
on
also a very weird guy to me.
Yeah, but he's not a pedophile. That means something. Damn it.
Yeah, it's very
Savage
clear.
Dragon D says Subaru was originally designed for rally racing and became extremely popular in places that get snowfall or have hazardous road conditions.
This guy gets it.
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize we were doing a TED Talk on Subarus. Gonna give me a snoozeroo. I still got it.
Boxer engines, baby.
Is that what's in there?
Yeah, an opposed 4, a flat 4.
That's pretty cool. So Matt, how many How many peder-ass incidents are there with Dalia? A lot?
There's like then more coming forward too.
Well, yeah, there's it's never the first wave is never the first. Did you see the like places in Florida that are closing down in anticipation of wave 2?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's happening in the next month everywhere.
Yeah, I've been working at my restaurant. I've been back for about 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
No one's wearing masks.
Oh, no.
People are trying to push tables together.
It's funny. America is done with this pandemic, and they think that makes the pandemic done with them.
Yeah.
But like, the reality is, the numbers around the world are still 99.5% survival rate if you're over or under 60 years old.
Yeah.
Like, that's like crazy how they juice the numbers with the elderly, and then they're like, hey, this is the plague. Like, what I want to know, and I want a fucking answer to this, right? I'm all for, like, discovery of new information. I get that, right? But do you guys remember when the CDC was telling us how long this lived on different surfaces?
Yep.
And now they're saying it doesn't live on surfaces. So what were they studying?
The cruise ships. They were looking at the cruise ships specifically. The ones that had been out to sea for a bunch of
No,
days.
these are lab tests I'm talking about, Tovar.
I know. When the cruise ships got back, and I was reading a bunch of articles, they were doing a bunch of tests on COVID on the surfaces of these ships to find out how long it was lasting.
Sure, but my point is, they come out now and they say it doesn't live on surfaces, but they were studying and giving us data that says it did.
I would imagine that if you're locked on a boat for several weeks, like the amount of COVID that's going to be on every surface on that ship is going to be much greater than if you're
not if it doesn't live on surfaces.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how they got to those because I read the studies.
I did too. What I'm saying is that how I don't. First off, let me clarify. I think they're lying when they say it doesn't, and I think the CDC is not to be trusted. I've been very apparent about that. But you can't come out and say that something doesn't live on a surface when you have been releasing tests and data about it living on a surface. Like, that doesn't make sense, because these are like, and I'm not just talking about the cruise ship. I'm talking about, like, they had closed lab sample testing, right? And they had it at a point where it was like, it lives longer on cardboard than it does on rubber, and it lives less on metal than on this. It lives more on this than this. And they were doing these independent tests, and now they're saying it doesn't live on any surfaces. That's
they were saying it
fucking
lived like
creepy.
forever on cash and like clothes.
Right. But now it doesn't live on anything.
That could be because of the heat, because of summer.
One with my shadow says, anyone see the New York City whistleblower nurse video? Ask for a link, then I'll post it. Yeah, go ahead. Let's see it.
Well, there was the whole too. Now they're saying that it might be a blood disease instead of a
right. And it's what I've said from the fucking beginning on this show with you guys. We don't have any math. This is literally something that nobody understands or knows. And so the fact that we're going to politicize it and go one direction, I mean, like, look at how dishonest we are as a populace. Stay inside or you're going to murder grandmas. You know, unless you want to protest racial inequality, then if you go outside, you're fine. If you stay inside, you're a racist. Which is it? Pick a fucking narrative. Because over here, you got the CDC saying, oh, it lives on 3 days on metal, 2 days on plastic, 1 day on paper. JK, it doesn't live on any surfaces.
Hey, man, I just want a haircut and Black Lives Matter. Can I have both?
I don't know what any of that has to do with the coronavirus, but all right.
Well, was it interesting too? Or I don't know if you've been following on social media, but like Shea Webby, who had been with like thousands of people in the streets doing the protesting and then helping out with like the rebuilding and the organizing and stuff, she tested negative.
Right.
And if you think about someone who's probably been in contact with somebody who may have had
that's
it,
that's what I'm saying is that's what I love. That's what I love most about these protests. Literally, the thing I love the most is that in another week and a half, if there is not a 200 increase, we know that they were lying to us.
They're full of shit.
We know.
I can confirm also that the days that I was working with Shay, like, she wasn't wearing a mask religiously. She was touching her face a bunch. Her mask was like on her chin or not covering her full face. Like, she definitely wasn't taking all the precautions that like they recommend taking. And she was like on the front line, breathing the air that everybody was breathing out. So, like, as far as like exposure, she had the most amount of exposure that you could give someone and then still not catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, and this is where when I say, oh yeah, it's like it's all made up, people get mad at me. You know, like, oh, I don't trust the CDC and I think they're lying about the origins of this. Now I'm a racist. Like these are narratives, and this is where I go back to talking about how the left is worse than the right. Even though both parties are the same, the left is so nefarious about their shit. Like, literally, how many people were browbeat into saying that they wanted people to die and all this when we legitimately had no information? None. Legitimately. None. Now they're telling us it doesn't even live on surfaces? Like, what the fuck? And if the cases don't spike in like 200 times across the country in areas where it was protesting, even, you know what, I'll even roll that back. If they don't go 100%, if they don't just double, then we know this whole thing was just a farce.
But they also came out and said now, too, that asymptomatic carriers probably don't pass it to other people.
Right.
And
but that's not
atmospheric transfer is almost unheard of. So they changed the narrative because if you look at the people, most of the people that they're aiming for are the ones that still get out and vote in droves. And
right.
it's
Well, that's what it was. It was a political. It was a legitimate concern. This is what happened. This is what I think happened. It was a legitimate concern that people were literally worried about, which is fine. I'm not mad at the states for closing down as precautionary measures. That doesn't bother me. I get it. But then, like, what happened was you're going to take and basically give us false information, because even the asymptomatic transfer, that doesn't even bother me, because again, new information comes out, you have to change. Like, that's how science works. But when you are issuing reports, and I know I've read them, Tovar's read them, when you are issuing reports talking about the lifespan on surfaces, and then you say it doesn't live on those surfaces, what the fuck were you studying?
I just posted a picture of the current Minnesota COVID cases here in the state, and we are currently still in a decline.
Right.
Where we should be ticking up now.
That's what I'm saying, because it's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this before, about how it might just quell down in the summertime because it doesn't really live.
Well, do you remember? Yeah, do you remember originally when they were saying hot weather and humidity would kill this?
Humidity would kill this, and it looks like that's what it's doing if you look at those charts.
Right. But instead, it's just weird. And, like, if you even question it at all, people get on your fucking, like, ass.
I bet you October through December, though, we're all fucked.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, the reality is that, like, we're not going to get a fucking vaccination. I mean, like, okay, so check this out. This is the United States, right? Never follow the cases. The cases are being juiced. They're bullshit. The numbers that are more accurate are the deaths. The new deaths will tell you the tale, because even though those can be juiced, they're not being juiced to the degree as the cases are. So, like, yesterday, like, the highest death total was in California, which was 86. Like, 86 deaths. And, like, you get down to, like, the bottom.
What percentage of those are over 60?
We don't know, because they're not letting us have those numbers.
Of course not. They would hide those.
Right. And even the, like, and, like, here's the thing about the daily new deaths. Let me put this on here real quick so you guys can see it right here. Boom. Go up here like that. There you go. So, like, right here, right? So this is that Worldometer one that I really like. This is the 7-day moving scale that averages it all out, right? Look at that. Look at how it's going down. And not only is it going down, but it's doing that audio wave tick up that it did on the way up, and it's doing it on the way down. Now, it could from here start spiking up again. That's possible. But, like, this idea that they know what they're doing or talking is fucking crazy.
How weird is it that everything is a fucking sine wave, by the way? Everything?
Yeah, that is weird, right? Everything in science is like that. Even the DNA helix is kind of like that. Mikey Two Milk says, I haven't worn a mask for a single second since this started.
You vibrate at a frequency that is a sine wave. Like, you visibly, like, not visibly, but you physically vibrate. It's crazy. Everything has a sine wave.
It's fucking nuts, man.
But at the same time, you're talking about the political side of this whole thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's highly political.
about-
Like, it became political when Pelosi was posturing and peacocking over the Trump checks. Like, when the Republicans and the Democrats legitimately started bickering over the fucking relief checks, that's when it became political. And what happened was the Dems are going to try to bog the economy because it's one of the biggest issues that gets somebody reelected or doesn't. And the Republicans are going to flame the fans of war because if it goes depression, like, war is real good at balancing them budgets.
Okay, but then why is it this rally in Tulsa for Trump? They have to sign a waiver. If the Republicans especially don't
I
believe
thought
this
that
is
was
a big
so fucking hilarious.
yeah. So that's the other side of this.
But that's
you know what
not.
I mean?
But that's not anything. Like, signing a waiver, that's the new protocol in America. Like, you can't even, like, most people don't talk about that. But, like, when you went to Trump rallies in Minneapolis, they had you sign a waiver. Like, people don't talk about that shit. Because
waiver though.
yes, if you're going to a political campaign, they will have you specifically since Trump has been in office, and I think even before that, because sometimes they get violent. And what they're doing is they're clearing their path for being held accountable for any violence that happens at the protest or at the conventions. Yeah, because the thing is that they know, like, the Republicans, right? They know they're gonna say something fucking like that'll make the crowd erupt, like something insidious. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to fucking, like, jack people into getting mad. So the waivers are there so that they can't, like, if you get injured, if you go to a Trump rally, somebody says fuck Trump, throws a brick, hits you in the back of the head. If you don't sign that waiver, they can sue you. And it's interesting. It's classic media spin that they're only covering this now. It's like the primaries. Nobody ever tells the citizens that the primaries are a pageant show, and the party doesn't have to, like, you can elect somebody in the primary. That doesn't mean that the Democrats or the Republican have no obligation to run that candidate. So, like, even if, like, let's say Biden won outright, they have no obligation. They could go with Bernie if they wanted to.
Do you guys remember an old Quantum Leap episode where he gets stuck in this reality where, like, everyone is a lawyer and, like, in order to buy a cheeseburger, he has, like, a 6-hour wait and, like, a bunch of paperwork to fill out?
Oh my God. Corey Adams Rogue Thumb. This is amazing. Holy shit. Look at this. This is fucking great. Beijing goes into lockdown to stop extremely severe fresh COVID-19 outbreak blamed on European salmon. Oh, it's so great. That's the best. That's the best thing I've ever seen.
The more I think about it, the more I think the whole Mayan calendar thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, because it's like next week now, right?
Yeah.
I've been talking about that for years, but did you guys see that China and, well, not Iran, India?
India.
India, yeah.
China went into India and fucked around with them. Here, I'm going to go take a piss. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Yeah, like, I have been talking about the 8-year difference or fluctuation in the calendar dates now for a couple of years. Because, like, I'm actually not a big believer in the prophecy, but I just think it's kind of crazy that these, like, super, super smart people would choose right now to end it and then have 2 different prophecies in a span of 8 years talking about specifically the transition times. And then it seems like right at when they say it's going to happen, it's happening.
Sounds pretty convenient to me.
Well, and then what was it too that NASA is tracking an asteroid that's going to come within like 300 million miles of Earth, which in astronomical terms is really close.
Okay, so would I correlate the Mayan calendar to this calendar or to the prophecy? I've been watching a show on YouTube for a while called Suspicious Observers, and it's run by these independent group of scientists. Do you guys know what the Kensington event was?
I've heard of it.
So in the late 1880s, early 1890s.
Are those the stones in Georgia?
No. Kensington event, basically in the late 1800s, the sun had what's called a micronova event, a sun flare, a really big sun flare. And it was powerful enough to set telegraph lines on fire in North America.
Okay. Yeah. They've been talking about like how a solar flare
right.
could knock out a whole grid.
And that's what everyone's afraid of now. And so what a lot of people aren't really talking about, but in the science community is being discussed right now, is that, like, the area of space that we're currently entering into is basically a debris field. It's a junk field. It's like got a lot of just trash and junk and things that we could hit in there, right?
So it's the Florida of outer space.
Well, and they're saying that's really funny. And get this, because this is what's really trippy, right? So they say that anywhere between every 8 to 12,000 years, our sun goes through a microburst event.
Wait, you have a sun?
You sure do. I got plenty. But anyway, when this happens, it's basically like a reset button, because it fucks up the magnetic poles. It can shift oceans. It can shift land. It can do a bunch of really crazy seismic stuff.
Dogs lay with cats.
Anyway,
you guys talking about Revelations? Did I leave the room and it's Revelations time?
No. I'm talking about the Kensington event and the space that we're going through right now.
Do you know about the alternate multiverse bubble theory of the Hadron Collider?
Let me finish this. And we'll talk about that. So, what correlates with the sunspots, guys, is that every 8 to 12,000 years, we also go through this debris field. So what the scientists are starting to put together is that it is very probable that this field of space that we're traveling in through right now is so dirty and cluttered with different meteors and stuff that could be what always triggers these sunspots and these microbursts.
So the one I read that I thought was really cool was I read a thing that wait a second.
But if you guys go look up a channel on YouTube called Suspicious Observers, there's like a couple movies / informational like documentary pieces in there that like will trip your mind out. And that guy actually does morning space weather reports every single day. And as someone who works outside, I actually watch them because like it'll let me know if it's going to be a heavy radiation day and if I should like worry about it or make plans indoors.
Yeah, well, I mean, that air quality the other day, too. Shit like that's always weird.
People don't think about it, but, like, the sun isn't just something that puts out the same amount of energy every fucking day. Like, it's a sine wave also. Like, there are days when it's not putting out as much energy, and there's days when it's putting out a shitload of energy. And some of those days can be really dangerous for you if you work outside.
Hey, Tovar, did you ever read the study? It was out of a German university that did, like, a 40-year study on the sun and linked it closer to climate change than anything that anybody on work.
So that's what this guy that Suspicious Observers is talking about, and the thing that most scientists have really started to figure out, and then even NASA has started to accept, is that like our sun and our moon is more responsible for weather than really anything else.
No, I'm not talking just weather, but you know how everybody's on with climate change and everything else. What this group studied in Germany was that they went back as far as they could, and they had reliable data back to like the 70s.
Okay.
And they were watching the size of the sun, you know, the expansion and contraction of the sun.
Yep.
And then when the sun it expands out, the Earth's climate does go up, you know, because we're just that much closer. So that's what they're thinking, that more of the climate change is coming from than anything else.
For sure. I have really mixed feelings about climate change because I realize that it's a much bigger picture, and like anything that we can do to it is going to be corrected by time eventually, right? But that being said, in the last 100 years, we've like put it's like 3,000% more carbon in the atmosphere than there was like 120 years ago. So like, I definitely don't think that we are a direct cause of it, but I don't think that we're necessarily helping either.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like the reality is like it's all up in the air. That's why I get mad at people that want stats to be true and shit. Like we don't know. Like, are we helping things? Right. Clearly not, but we don't know the degree that we're not helping things.
Well, just look at the garbage pile in the ocean. Like,
well,
like
or just look at the way that like the ocean itself has been losing oxygen. What looks like before humans even existed, though. Like the ocean is a very weird thing.
Or the fact that like we keep dumping a bunch of oil into the Gulf and it's basically useless.
Yeah, it should be fine. Oil fish, dude. That's how you get oil fish.
Oil fish. Go filter fish. We've had
The only other
That's why I always like. That's
too,
why I
that
always get
nobody-
really weird about like people that are like out to save the whales. It's like whales survived an era where they were the only source of oil. I think they're fine.
I don't know, man. Japan's going hard on those fuckers.
Right. 2 countries, Japan and India, are going hard. The rest of the world is not. Versus an era where everybody in Europe, America, Asia, Africa, they were all going hard because it was the only
There's
source
more
of oil.
people in India and Japan now than there
Good
was in
point,
all
Gloria.
There's not more people in India and Japan now hunting whale than there was in the 1800s. That's a bold-faced lie.
Are you sure?
Positive. Yes, there are more
Are
people in those
you
areas, but the
sure?
world, like they don't have more people there than they had in the world at that era.
But they also have like way
The
more
ones
official,
that
so
were
you don't-
actually hunting them, though, those are the ones that.
Everyone was
You know,
hunting
like
them
the-
back in the day.
Right. So how do those numbers add up?
They just said, you know what? I'm muting you. Hold on. There we go. Wait 1 second. There. Boom. No, the whole thing is like here. We'll do a math equation for you. I'll show you. Like the idea that like so. Let's go whale
Oh,
oil.
jeez. I got some comments to address. So Savage Dragon says, Tovar, have you read the Oxford article stating that what people believe to be paranormal and ghost activity is actually transdimensional beings affected matter in our dimension? I would like to read that article if you got a link to it. I have some theories on what ghosts are that I have acquired over years of messing with the judge.
There's a lot of people who say that ghosts and things might just be multiverse too, though.
Well, no, it's
You know,
probably
my-
multiverse or it's shadows of multiverse that leave physical imprints. That's what I think it is.
One time when I was experimenting with a psychedelic, I went way out and realized that every tree you ever meet in your entire life records your emotional state at the time you're around it, right? And like after I had that realization, I felt like I immediately understand ghosts. Because every house almost in the world is made up of wood that I believe absorbs emotional energy.
So you think it's like a superconductor?
Absolutely. And
But
so
does
if
it do?
you
But
put
like
in-
I don't know. Okay, so like let me play devil's advocate for that theory, right?
Okay.
Why would that property stay when it's dead?
Well, here's the thing. It's transferring back the emotional energy that was fed into it. It's like a sponge. So if you
So
put in
every time a
negative
tree
energy-
gets cut down, you're haunted by whoever died in that tree?
No, but like say you have a guy that lived in a house that fucking hated everybody and was just an abusive prick. That house is always going to have a different energy than if you lived in a house that came from a happy family, was nurturing and like lived a decent life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my belief.
Yeah, that makes for a really bad Amityville horror, though.
I mean, not really. I mean, if you look at all of these like haunted houses, like they're not haunted because nice people lived in them, right? Like all these movies that are written about every single like bad house or evil house that's ever been out there. It's always like the most dark energy that gets somehow transmitted into the house. I just feel that wood is a natural receptive of not just human emotions, but any animal's emotions.
Sure.
My wood is really receptive to her emotion.
And that's probably why you don't get to use it as much as you want to.
Oh shit! That's the best
hard.
throwback you've had in a long
Excuse me,
time.
bitch.
You get all kinds of rap horns and shit for that.
That would be cool.
Tom Michel.
Apology accepted.
That's fucking great. That was amazing. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my theory on that. Because someone was asking.
Yeah. No, keep talking. I'm doing math for you.
What else do you guys want to learn about my psychedelic experiences? I had a conversation with Mother Earth and Einstein one. That was interesting.
One time on mushrooms, I had a conversation with my dog.
Oh, I bet you that was neat.
It was phenomenal, and I don't remember a thing about it. And then I also watched Hillbilly Hand Fishing for 4 hours.
I had Biggie Smalls speak through me through his lyrics. Like I heard his voice in death talk to me.
That's weird.
Yeah, it
You
was
just fell
like
asleep
super
with that South
raspy.
Park episode on.
It sounded like it's hard to explain, but at the time, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I would imagine a dead Biggie Smalls would sound like. And like he was literally, like in the music, he was like able to have a conversation with me, like it had always been there in that music, just waiting for me for that moment. It was a weird experience for sure.
That's weird because you're from the West Coast too. So I mean that.
Yeah, but you got to understand that like I would like hide my Biggie obsession from my friends because like having being a Biggie fan when I grew up could actually get you fucking killed. And I love East Coast rap, man. I love Mobb Deep. I love Biggie. I love Jay-Z. I like coming up. I love all of those guys, you know. and Wu-Tang Clan. You know, I could go on for days and talk about that stuff. But like when I was growing up, you didn't really talk about it because like everything was like West Coast gang, like Tupac, like you know, like yep, all that shit, and all that shit. You know, I remember when Tupac died, dude. They actually shut down our school for like a couple of days, and like they opened up the auditorium, and like you could just go in there and talk about how Tupac affected your life in front of like all and like basically no one went to class because they were just in that auditorium listening to everyone's Tupac stories.
So, all right, you want to go some hardcore history on this bitch?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the whale. This is the whale stuff. I've been looking at. Okay, so 19th century, right? The population of the world was 1.5 billion people.
Okay.
In the year 1800, right? Or around that, estimated by historical demographics or whatever. This is all according to Wikipedia, so I don't. If it's not accurate, I don't know.
Wikipedia is actually really accurate.
Yeah, it's actually. I think it's more accurate than it used to be now that it got all that fucking bullshit. Right.
If you get caught fucking with them one time, you're done forever.
But so here's something really interesting that I didn't know is that there are a bunch of countries, namely 4, who hunt whale. However, almost all of them have quota that they can only hunt.
Except
So
for Japan.
No, yeah. I'm getting there. So basically, it looks like Iceland, Norway, India are the ones that are fishing and kind of obeying it, right?
Uh-huh.
But now Japan has basically flat out said, fuck you, right?
Uh-huh.
But Japan's entire population today is 126 million people. So the numbers of every single country,
Wait,
that's it.
I suppose that's a lot.
It's a tiny. It's actually a lot for that island. Japan's a tiny island.
No. I corrected myself. I'm like, that's half the U.S. population on an island.
Right.
That's nuts.
So you're looking at roughly. I mean, like, because in the 1800s, every single oil was blubber. Like, there was no other form of oil. We didn't have crude oil yet.
Yeah.
So every single country, so that 1 billion or 1.5, you can probably get rid of the 5. So you're talking probably, a billion or 0.7 billion were all hunting whale. And now it's down to even if you spot Japan, their entire population.
Yeah,
126
I don't know
million.
about that. Like, people in Africa aren't going out and hunting whale oil in the 1900s. Like maybe the British that are
Yeah,
there
the British
are
colonies absolutely were. Yes, they were.
Right,
and there were
that's
African
only-
tribes that would hunt whale because they would sell them to the British. They absolutely were whaling out of Africa then. Everybody was whaling because it was the only source of oil, and Britain was in its highest, like, before its
And I
giant
suppose
decline
they
of
had
imperialism.
ports all along.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying, like, let's kill all the whales. I'm just saying, like, they're not at threat like they used to be. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I love the amount of research that you're willing to go. Like, that's some commitment.
Well, it's something that I've held for a long time that people say I'm crazy, and when you fucking look at it. Meanwhile, though, India today, this is kind of
minutes looking up whales.
Well, yeah, because it's something that I said arbitrarily that I was 90% sure I could prove, so I did.
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting, though, is so 1.5 billion in the 1800s, right?
Mm-hmm.
India has 1.35 billion today.
Huh.
So the entire world in the 1800s is in India right now, basically.
Jeez.
That's crazy to think about.
There's so many
Indians
people,
be
man.
fucking.
Yeah. Well, they're China without population control, man. That'll happen. What is China's population?
Second most.
No, they're still ahead of India, but not by much. They're going to be overpopulated by India soon. Oh, yeah, 1.39. So India's at 1.35. China's at 1.39 versus America, who's at 327 million.
Dude, India and China are about to go ham.
Oh, yeah.
The funniest thing is they started with rocks. It started with throwing rocks.
Of course it did.
But India's been crazy for a while. Can we talk about that for a second? Because the dude in charge of India right now is sort of like a fascist dictator. Not sort of. Is a fascist. Like, he's going after all the Muslims in the country. Like basically, them in Pakistan have been at odds and almost going to, like, nuclear war now for, like, the last 5 to 6 years.
Well, if they're going after Muslims, you'd think them and China would get along.
Well, but that's not how it works. It's all
God,
politicized.
but,
And China and India, like, I mean, ask them about, like, because wasn't, like, a lot of that Tibetan
Everyone
shit
hates
because of India?
Guys. Everyone fucking hates India because the British favored them.
Well, and they also had that fucking giant, what is it, Sino-Indian War or whatever it was. Like that whole country was basically raised in the 60s because of a war between India and China. Sino, I think it is.
Pakistan, you mean? Or?
No, India. It was a border conflict between China and India in the 60s.
Right.
But
Was
it
that
wasn't
right
like
after-
India. It was like Indo-China.
When did Britain relinquish control of India? Do you remember?
Oh, I want to say that was during our lifetime.
No,
that was 40s.
Beijing. Yeah.
Oh, it's Beijing. Yeah, you're right. And Australia.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
India was a while ago, I want to say.
1947.
Yeah, okay.
40s.
So right after the war.
Yeah. That was pretty dead on. Good for you, Doima.
Hey,
all right.
That's
Between the
that's
three of
World War
us, we're
III.
one
So
historian.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be
We have the knowledge of one historian. So yeah, what do you guys think of the new Discord look though?
it's interesting.
It's chaotic, but it'll be fun when I get the hang of it.
I gotta figure it out.
Yeah, the rank system's gonna be good, and once I get the game room and the music channels up, it's gonna be crazy. Because like, you know, if you're out and about and don't have access to like music, you can just pop in and then song requests and listen to whatever you want. I don't know how they get away with that, but it's real funny.
Better get that internet up and running.
I mean, it's up and running now. It's just not like ported right.
So, are you just running like one channel, just a basic network setup, so that you can connect?
Well, so what I did is I have on the new modem, I have it has 2 different networks. It has and it's all the megs or whatever. So it has a 56 and a 24. So what I did is wirelessly connect to the 56 on my computer. And then I plugged in the router, and the router is on a different one, but I think they're interfering. But the router has the 3 different networks. So the only thing that will actually connect to that router ever will be... So I'll be connecting my computer to the modem, and then the PS3 or PS4. And then everything else in the house will go through WallSmoth.
Which will be on the modem router combo.
Right, it'll be daisy chained off the modem, and then they will be getting it from the router.
But the big router is going to be just your PlayStation computer.
The big router, well, the modem router is bigger than the router. Like the router actually slows it down a bit, is what I was reading. So I'm going to try it both ways and see what happens.
Nope, that's false. That's false. No, not even a little bit. So the way I have mine hooked up right now is, so I just have
but check it out. What I read was specifically for the Nighthawk with this AC-17. It's specifically this router with this modem.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe I'll do it that way. I don't know.
Well, that's what I would do. Like I have my modem plugged in with a hard line, and I have all of my other traffic just on the modem router combo. And the only thing on my one router is just my Xbox, and that's it. And if I were you, the way that I would probably set it up is I would run my TV and your PlayStation off the 5 gig network that you have on your modem router. I would run all your cell phone traffic, all your other Wi-Fi traffic off the 2.5 gigahertz net, on your modem router.
The real motherfucker. Connecting directly to my router or modem is the last order. I shouldn't have to because of how good my computer and the router and modem are. Like, I don't want to fucking just pop it through.
No, that router is going to be faster than the router.
Herplip says, who cares? What's the update with St. Cloud? What do you mean? Oh, with Raleigh's? Yeah, did you see people were protesting? Like, did you see that, Doima? Were you around for that?
I've been working nonstop the last few days, but I've been hearing about it.
So I guess like a bunch of people went and protested having like Confederate flags taken down at Raleigh's or some shit. It's like just because protesting is all the rage, I guess.
I guess I didn't hear about. They were protesting Raleigh's having them, or
Yeah,
they were
the cops
protesting.
the cops had a clash with some protesters outside of Raleigh's.
Honestly, it's the way I see it is like, if you don't like it, don't fucking spend money there.
Right. That's exactly it. Like the Confederate flag, nobody, like, here's the thing. Who cares? Like, I honestly, I swear to God, this has always been my fucking viewpoint. If you look at the Confederate flag and you get offended, fuck you. They were only there for 4 years. If you look at the Confederate flag and you think that's my heritage, fuck you. They were only there for 4 years. Nobody cares. Now, when it comes to government stuff, you don't get to put the flag of a failed coup on a government building ever. That's ridiculous.
It'd be like flying the Nazi flag.
Yeah, or it's like, well, and that's what I get so pissed off about when everybody's like, oh, you can't take down these statues. It's our history. It's like, that's weird. They took a shitload of statues of Hitler down. I still know who he is.
Yeah, they don't have a single. There's not a single monument in the country of Germany to the soldiers who fought for the Nazis. There's not. They have museums where that shit, belongs. But yeah, there's no actual.
Well, or
no
at a private business. I mean, that's the reality. If you want to fly a flag like Raleigh's, great example, right? If you want to fly some Confederate flag hick shit in there, you can. And if people want to not go there because of it, they can.
It's in the title of the fucking restaurant.
You guys realize
and long necks.
You guys realize that we are the state that actually captured a Confederate battle flag, right? Like we still.
Do you realize that's inaccurate because there's 3 states that did that?
Oh,
we're the only one that still has it.
Exactly.
And we opted to not give it back. Jesse Ventura told them to get fucked.
Well, it would just make sense that naturally we would sort of have a problem with that flag because of like our beef with Virginia.
Yeah, well, and also, like Fort Snelling and stuff, that was a lot of those people relocated and fought in the Civil War. So, like, people don't know that about Minnesota, but Minnesota was actually a pretty big supplier of troops for the Union.
The very first conscript was from Anoka County.
Yeah, and the almost all of them were trained at Fort Snelling. It's pretty crazy. Like, we actually had more people involved in the Civil War than you ever would think. We were the Union Marines, basically.
Them.
Yes.
We terrified them because
Vikings.
we were on average 6 inches taller than the rest of everybody else, blonde haired.
Like, think of this as like a transplant, Tovar. Like, you and I get it, right? We're transplants. Like, how fucking giant are these Scandinavian fucking lake people?
Some of these guys, like, and this is someone who had to like grow up tooth and nails or die, right? Like,
yeah.
I moved here and like secretly was like, oh fuck, I'm glad they're nice.
Well, that's kind of the thing, is like, I feel like Scandinavians are so fucking big that they have to be nice because almost all of them have an experience where they hurt someone as a kid that they didn't mean to.
We talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
And every single one of them is agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a giant Scandinavian. Yes.
Right. And you've had a moment where, like, you got mad as a kid and you hit somebody too hard or something. You felt like shit.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yeah,
and not just, you're a bad example because we all know that you are, in fact.
Oh, that's fine. I'm a giant hot pussy, so. Wow, that was weird.
See, I like how I can play the sound clips and you guys are not privy to it. That's going to be the next thing. We're going to sync. Dude, I'm going to get so much shit done on this Discord over this break. It's going to be crazy.
There was the other thing from last night, though, in St. Cloud.
What happened last night?
Down by University, so that's over by nowhere that you would ever. Have you ever been to like this where St. Cloud State is?
Oh wait, I read about that. There was like 30 or 40 arrested or some shit.
Yeah, it was some. It was all over some misinformation. There was so on Monday night, or not Monday. Yeah, sorry. Sunday night there was a guy running from the cops. He actually hit one of the cops in the hand. But some misinformation got spread that some cops had shot a black guy.
Hold on. This is fucking amazing. This just happened in chat, you guys, okay? So, D's Frog Nuts typed in 6'3", 265, big Swede here, and then immediately the real motherfucker gifted him a subscription and just said, "Need you on our side."
Yes, we do.
Savage Dragon D says, I'm a short Scandinavian, and I've had one of those issues. Yeah, it's tooth and nail. Go ahead, Doima. What were you saying? I didn't mean to cut you off. That was so funny.
No, it's all right. So down over, do you know have you been to St. Cloud State, like the actual university area?
I mean, I've never been in it, but I've driven by it.
Okay, so there's an area down, I actually used to live in this neighborhood. It's off of Clearwater Road and University Avenue.
Is it over by that liquor store?
Yeah, Southtown Liquor.
Yeah. That's like one of the dirtiest liquor stores I've ever been in my life. Like I walked in and my shoes would like stick to it. Was like I was walking into like a shitty like fucking movie theater with all that Cinemuck, the like
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I remember those old movie theaters.
You guys have never been to a liquor store in North?
Oh, I have. This is dirtier than that.
I used to live
check it out. No, hold on,
from there.
Tovar, I swear to God, North has nothing on this liquor store. Nothing.
Has murder.
No, it doesn't. Meth people kill people too, bro. All right, go ahead, Doima.
So, fun fact, I lived across the alley from this liquor store for 4 years of my life. So I used to go get drunk. Fun fact too, this liquor store, it used to get robbed about probably 3 to 5 times a year. Just happens because it's, you get a bunch of dumb drunk college kids. Someone's going to break in and fucking steal booze or fucking try to take money, whatever, stupid shit. So anyway, this protest over some fake information came about. It's only like, I think they said there was like, the numbers are somewhere between 50 and 100 people, mostly young. And then in that specific neighborhood, especially if you go south of University, has a large Somali population. So there was some misinformation that there had been a cop shot, and there's been a couple gatherings, things like that.
That's actually been happening. I caught NBC Care 11 out of the cities doing that. It was like, you remember Tovar, like 5 or 6 days ago when they had that peaceful. It was at where George Floyd died, and it was like that peaceful gathering that got like a little rowdy for a second because the cops showed up and kind of like stirred the pot.
Yeah, can we talk about that, because that's also in Chop Zone and no one's actually really discussing it. The
right,
cops
but
are
like,
not welcome.
so what happened is Chaz Zone, you mean?
It's been called Chop now.
Yeah, but Chaz, Chop, same thing. But so what was interesting
Chop,
is
chop.
that they fucking popped in and the cops kind of instigated it and it got a little bit ruckusy and then it calmed down, right? And then like Care 11 the next day is like, oh, protesters and police have a violent clash. It's like, no, they didn't. They just yelled at each other for a while. Like there was no violence. I watch and like this is what's so crazy is that like with this specifically, and I watched it. I know Tovar was with me. I think you were too, Doima. I watched almost all the riots on live streams, and the way that the news was reporting it the next day has never made me feel more resolute about how bullshit the media is in this country.
I'm a big fan of these Chop centers. I think every city in a.
I mean, that's great till the rape rate goes up. Like you got to have law enforcement, man. You just do.
I mean, sure, but you're a guy that preaches communal activity.
Yes.
And communal
Oh, I have a new idea. You want to hear my new idea that I had? This was actually, I was talking with Jacob, and this is what we came up with. Are you ready for this?
Sure am not.
A privatized police department, right, that has like some government influence, right? But the head of every precinct has to win an election to have the job. So what happens is instead of having the union protect them, if somebody like Bob Kroll or anybody on the upper end fucks up, they can get rid of him the next term and just rotate them around because they're already civil servants. And also, you don't need to worry about funding the police because they're one of the only divisions of the government that make money. I always love this argument. Oh, we're paying for that. Like, calm the fuck down. Nobody's paying for the police. The police are a fucking money funnel. Like, they cash so much off fucking speeding tickets and shit like that. It's crazy.
Someone tried to have that, but if you don't pay taxes, how will someone fix the roads? I'm like, I don't know. How about you rely on your revenue-generating costs?
How about this? How about a large majority of the roads were built by private companies?
How about this? How about you just pay for the amount of roads?
It's so funny. I get these arguments with people sometimes about the roads or this and that, and they're like, how do you know all this? Because I have the same dipshit argument with the same 8 people for fucking 3 years. Like, Domino's had a publicity stunt last year where they were filling in potholes. Don't tell me about the fucking roads.
Well, you had me as a scratching post as I went through all my legal troubles, you know?
All right, Dorma,
anyway,
go ahead.
so-
We cut you off. Go, Dorma.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. So, yeah, like a couple people out of the group, I guess, broke into the liquor store that was right there, that dirty ass liquor store, and yeah, like they all got arrested. There was some tear gas was shot, I guess. They also have like the St. Cloud SWAT came in to help quell the situation. I don't know much. That's all I really know about it. But like,
sure.
What's interesting about that again is like that area is always been a garbage pit because it's the same area where the quote unquote St. Cloud 88 university riots happened, where a bunch of drunk college kids after their St. Cloud State beat the University of Minnesota in a hockey game during homecoming, like burned a couch and like tipped a car over. So like that area is yeah, do you want to like that is one of the biggest reasons. Like I used to be a tour guide for St. Cloud State, and parents would always be like, "Oh, I hear this is a party school and this is a dangerous school and there was riots and stuff." There was more damage done when the University of Minnesota won the national championships 2 years in a row.
Whatever. There was not more damage. Like in St. Cloud, you're saying?
No, versus what happened in St. Cloud.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, they did more damage when they won. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody burnt down a police station when the Gophers won.
No, they just broke into a bunch of liquor stores. You
Allegedly.
know, like what happened last night.
How many
whatever.
precincts have been taken over and or destroyed in the last month? Does anyone have a count?
So in the last month, my current so I don't know about the last month, but because it's actually 3 weeks, but we'll count that, right? My count is burnt down is 2, both here. Taken over.
No, I thought Brooklyn had one too.
They had one that was burnt. We had one. So here's the thing: are we calling partial credit on anything that was lit on fire?
Well, because in that regard, what 2 got burnt to the ground here? Because I thought.
Well, no. I'm saying there was one that got burnt to the ground, right? There was another one that got burnt here that was mostly burnt to the ground.
The 5th.
Yes, but like it wasn't like whatever. But the one in Brooklyn was stopped pretty early on. So even though it was on fire, it never really burnt down.
Well, and those things are really hard to burn.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do, Tovar? I'm not even in the mood to argue. I'm so happy with police stations burning. Let's just give him all 3. Yeah, done. So, let's say 3. I think there was one more in like Georgia. I feel like there was 4 or 5 of them.
Well, and the CHOP has one too, because there's a police precinct in the CHOP that is abandoned.
Like, wait, here?
No. In Seattle's CHOP.
Stop calling it CHOP. It's a Chaz.
That's what it is. It's CHOP.
It's Chaz.
If you look on the woke feed, it's all
right. But if you look at that, like that's woke mislabeling it. It's literally Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. It's Chaz. That's what it stands for. There's no such thing as CHOP.
Property? I don't know. No,
it's zone. It's zone. It's actually part of civil unrest. It's not in the Constitution, but it's talked about. And what it is when the government has failed you, the citizens can band together and create what's called a Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, which means they're no longer under the jurisdiction of Capitol Hill for the time being.
Every city needs one.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like that's what so that's what Ashbury Park started as, and that turned into Mission Street being a shantytown. Most autonomous zones turn into mass homelessness. That's just the reality.
And I'm not saying that that's where they end up, but
so here's what happens with autonomous zones. Typically, they turn into mass poverty. That mass poverty turns into mass crime, and then getting rid of that causes mass death. And there's been probably 12 examples of that over the course of American history.
You guys are just an anarcho-syndicus commune, you guys.
Yeah, Liber World or whatever it is, the libertarian one where they just annexed that property.
But like, if
that's the line from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, I like it even more now.
If every city had a neutral place to go, if you felt that you were being unfairly adjudicated or harassed by a city official of any sort, where you could actually have a trial and a place where you were safe for persecution, I think that'd be really important in helping a lot of situations.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's super easily abusable personally. Like, I feel like if that's what you want to... Yeah, but, like, you're basically creating an amnesty zone for anybody fleeing any consequence for anything they do.
Well,
That's...
the thing is that in that zone, there would be a jury section that would hear your case, and if they felt that you weren't protecting, they would absolutely be able to hand you whatever authorities were on the other side of that zone.
Maybe? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I'll take a maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... so I don't agree with it, but the logic is sound enough to where if I did more research, I feel like I might.
Right. But if you had a place that was actually responsibly policed by its citizens, right, that wasn't also responsible with also feeding and clothing everybody like these things seem to be, like what I don't understand why they take on so much of the poor. Like I understand wanting to help people, but like creating a freedom zone where you can sustainably like keep the cops out, like that you're not going to be able to indefinitely like
right. But like I know you're anti-cop right now. I get that, but like, do you understand how that's literally how you get like fucking mafia? Like, well, as an Italian, right? Like, the Chicago Mafia... No, hear me out. The Chicago Mafia rose to power in Chicago because Little Italy in Chicago is basically an autonomous zone. Wherever you have an autonomous zone...
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Those autonomous zones in Chicago and in Atlanta and in other places in the country have been around for decades. There are no-fly zones for cops that cops know that they are not welcome and will probably be murdered in if they...
Sure, but all of those zones that you're talking about have the highest poverty and murder rate in the country.
Well, absolutely, but they still exist, and they're not
right.
Talked about
But like,
every
at what
night
point? What I'm saying is, yeah. I mean, I have to do a little bit more research on it. Like, I feel like it's one of those things to me where the spirit of it feels right, but the logistics of it doesn't. If that makes sense. Because again, I'm all for my biggest problem, and the reason why you and I disagree on like anarchy is just the way that you rebuild it is nothing but fucking absolute chaos. And traditionally, when a world power goes through that kind of change, they're never a world power again, and everybody in their country lives well below the poverty line.
See, I'm not hung up that we were like nobody's gonna invade us anytime soon. Like why do we need to be a world power? We still have the.
Are you kidding me? No, that's okay. So I can stop that one easy. If you don't think that we have not made ourselves a target for all the years, like there are so many countries that are waiting for us to weaken in any way so they can take over.
But that's going to happen, like regardless of what we want.
Not if we win.
No, you can't win. Okay, dude.
Absolutely, you can. The first country that gets to where the first country that gets to where they're doing automated clones or drones completely wins because you're not losing soldiers in combat. There will absolutely be the one world government will be somebody that won a war.
Unless we go through an elongated period of civil discourse or civil war.
But that won't happen because check it out. If society dissolves, right? All the social stuff we fought for goes with it. The first thing that goes in the times of anarchy is social justice. You'll literally wind the clocks back to 1890.
I'm not talking about. I'm saying we devolve into a point where we're at civil war. We're not producing drones and making
and then another country comes in and bombs and takes us over.
And that's going to happen. Like that's going to happen.
Maybe,
but they're not.
It doesn't have to be.
Like everything except for that last part. I don't believe that another country has any aims on trying to invade the most armed populace in the history of the entire universe.
I disagree completely. I think that there are a lot of countries that you're telling me Russia, China, and most of the Middle East wouldn't band together to bomb us back in the Stone Age so they don't have to deal with world police ever again?
We still have the
Nicaragua.
And Nicaragua, yes. And Guatemala, almost all of South America. Canada's not going to have our back. They're just going to say, oh, sorry about that.
So I believe it's right. Like you think it's we're not we can avoid that. I don't think it's possible. I think that when civil war or something happens to a point where we are no longer in a position where we are the world police, right?
But that will never happen because our population is not hungry enough. I guess if you get more autonomous zones, maybe.
And what I'm looking at right now, like I said, I'm not predicting the future with what I'm just taking it on a day-by-day basis. And what I'm looking at now is that we've been closer than we've ever been, right? So if we play the natural progression of where things are going and
I don't think we were closer than we were at the start of the Revolutionary War. I don't think that's accurate. I don't think we're closer than we were at
I'm
the Civil War.
looking around every day now. Been what it sort of felt like in the years leading up to the first Civil War.
Right, but I think a lot of that is because you're isolating yourself and not really interacting with society that much.
Sure, but
so of course you're gonna
talking with people every day. So
right, but you're gonna everyone is gonna dwell on their own machinations when they're just isolated. That's human nature.
I mean, sure,
I do it too. I mean, I'm not like this is not. I'm not
but
coming at you at all.
I don't think you can label what's going on. My own isolation and my own machinations. Like
I think if you think logistically that having autonomous zones leading to a civil war that descents our entire country is a inevitable conclusion, I think that is a machination.
Also,
I don't think that's
impending
true.
Depression.
Well, maybe again, war stops that. If we go take Hong Kong, all of a sudden we're not in a depression anymore. Now we're in a fucking recession.
Hong Kong, India is.
No, absolutely not. India ain't playing that because China and Taiwan are our bitch.
Yeah, possibly.
Totally. And here's the thing about India. Fun fact about India, right? India has the same problem China has. Their navy fucking sucks.
Well, and that's my argument for why I'm not that worried. Because regardless of what happens to us financially, regardless of what happens to us internally, we still have the world's biggest navy and the most armed populace in the history of the entire universe. So, and like those two things alone, on top of the fact that we still have the second biggest, if not the first biggest nuclear arsenal, means that like nobody's coming after us, man. Like it's mutually assured destruction for anybody that really wants to.
I don't think so. I think like if 3 or 4
you
countries,
can proxy war us to death.
I think if 3, I was just about to say, I think if 3 or 4 countries got a coalition and started proxy warring us till our arms were down, then they go.
I mean, we're down on our knees from all the.
No, we're not. What? Where do you get that?
But the $24 trillion debt pony that's on.
Oh, you mean the fiat currency that we're just going to change to one of one whenever the fuck we decide to?
Okay, but that's just like a perceived future as well.
No, it's not. That's happened historically. That's what they do. We always every country ever does
wars,
that.
revolutions, and world wars.
No.
Both of the things that we were talking about.
Decay is statistically more likely than civil war or revolution, almost always.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's also something that's historically accurate. So, like everything that we're talking about is something that's proven by history.
I mean, not really. I just disagreed with you, and you said it's proof that you were right. I don't get that. I'm saying Civil War is not Civil War and America going in the ditch is not a for sure conclusion. Fiat currency of rebranding the dollar at a lower amount is inevitable. It's why Bitcoin's around.
That's your narrative, though.
It's not a narrative.
That's the thing. Like what you're trying to do is take your narrative and say that it's inevitable while mine is not. Like I'm not buying that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine. It's not. You don't have to buy it, but it's not a narrative. It's literally like what it is. I mean,
I'm not saying that it's not a possible future, but I'm also not saying that impending civil discourse isn't. Like
But I'm saying like okay, but fiat currency. That's what I'm saying. Fiat currency is inevitable. That will always happen.
Sure.
But right? Even if we decay,
more civil discourse and or civil.
But it's not. There's a whole nother side of it that you're missing.
Okay, but that's not the opinion that I have.
Right, and that's it. See how you're saying your opinion. I'm giving you
Sure.
There's the more likely is that we get thrown into an authoritarian government state where people lose their personal identity and it becomes 1984. And it's not civil war or decay. It's just like enhanced learned
that's
obsolescence.
Also a possible outcome, and it's probably the more probable. But like right now, what I'm saying is that there is so much unrest and turmoil and things that I have not seen ever in my life before that I'm not making any projections.
Right, and I agree with that. But what you just
multiple things could happen. Sure. That's all I'm saying.
Right, I'm saying. Right, but that's not. Multiple. But you said that one thing was inevitable. Where I'm saying the only inevitable thing is that we will fiat our currency. That's the only thing going forward that is absolutely inevitable.
See, I don't agree with that because I don't. There could be a possible outcome out of all of this where our fiat currency just gets replaced
with another fiat currency.
Sure, but
that's what I was saying.
Ours, and it wouldn't be set at zero, and we would be at.
But it's still fiating the currency, which is what I said, right?
Okay, so then you'll admit that it's probably not going to be our currency, and that will be one.
I don't know whose currency it is. I know that our currency will be fiated. That's all I was saying.
Well, it's fiated now.
Right, and it'll be fiated again. That's inevitable. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying that as that happens, it's another reason why we will not be top of the food chain.
Correct. But given the social control and propaganda that our populace is, it's almost more likely to assume that we will get propagandized into a point of complete submission, like 1984 style. That is a more likely conclusion to me than a civil war. And I'm not even saying that civil war can't happen. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying the only thing that's inevitable is that our currency will be fiated.
For sure.
That's what's going to happen. That's all I was saying. But you came at me and said that was a narrative.
Okay, well, let's get past that.
Okay.
I don't even care about
Sure.
that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid anyways. Sure.
Yeah, right. So, both of those situations, civil war that I described and the fiat currency that you described, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of those would result in America not being number one anymore, correct?
Maybe. It depends on how it aligns, but I would say more than likely yes, but there are some conclusions where, so for instance, just hear me out, right? We take Hong Kong, we set up an Asian union with Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. That immediately becomes the second biggest economy. And then we fiat it so that all those countries and our unions are working on the same currency. Britain comes along with us. So now you have a currency that's basically a one world currency because Europe has to fall in line. And then you still have Africa and Asia that can do their own thing. South America can do their own thing, but a majority of the world will be fiated on one currency.
So what you just described is a situation in which we're not really that much in control anymore, but we're not really worried about being invaded or taken over by anybody, right?
I don't know. I mean, I see the implications for sure of that, but I also think that are we not in control just because we make alliances? Because I feel like that's not the case. As long as we're on the top echelon and we're aligned with the top echelon, we're still in control, right?
But the reason why I think that we're going to have to do what you're describing is to compete with whatever competing currency Russia and China might come up.
See, and that's where you and I disagree. I think that the reason why we would do that is to include what is Asian capitalist meccas into our economy, like kind of like what we did to Puerto Rico. But I think like with Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, we're not going to be able to just force the American dollar on them. We'd have to make a new currency for everybody to make it work.
Well, what I think is that during a period of prolonged discourse or civil war, there could be a situation in which China, who has been trying to circumvent and replace our fiat currency with theirs for decades, would be able to do so.
I agree with you there. My only like disagreement there is that I think that if we take Hong Kong, we can the first time in history, Hong Kong is on our side as far as like they just want to be liberated. It's never happened historically ever. So if we roll on Hong Kong, they will help us, which means we can take it. Because the only way you can hold Hong Kong, being a peninsula, is with a sick-ass navy, which we have. You also would need the keys to sail in, which we have through Japan and Taiwan. So what happens is the moment we take Hong Kong, China's done. Like China's economy right now is so fragile. It's why they have to deal with those protesters. And if you want to go super conspiracy theory, I do not believe this, but it's also why some people think that they engineered this virus. To get rid of the protesters gathering, because Hong Kong is such a pivotal piece right now. Everybody acts like China's this insufferable giant, but they bought a bunch of debt of ours and other countries so that they were going to fiat and then own a bunch of debt. It was a very smart move, but unfortunately almost every country that they did that in went tits up, refiated their currency, because that's the other thing too. If America refiats their currency right now, China's dead. They're dead.
Yeah. Well, we would do that only if we went to a world war with them.
I don't even think, check it out. This is weird. And I know, see, this is where you're going to disagree. And I believe you're in the majority of outcomes, but I think that we could take Hong Kong and not even have a world war over it. Because right now, Russia has so much to do that they're just going to be laughing and doing their own thing. North Korea and South Korea are fucking around again. And do you think India's going to say anything when we take China? Or do you think they're going to laugh and try to take more mainland China?
I have an interesting take on
it.
Yeah. Do you know that the Civil War in the 1860s was actually a world?
Okay, no, I don't believe that's true, but I'll look.
Look it up.
Okay.
So
how do you mean like a world war? How?
Because the who was it that was funding the South? The British were funding the South. Right?
Oh yeah. I knew there was foreign, like you're saying foreign
they were
money.
Also in a war with India, and then also a Eurasian war in which basically the whole world was at war with Britain. Does that make sense?
Well,
and we
I
were
see
at
what
war
you're
with
saying.
Britain through proxy because they were supporting the South, right?
But does that count?
Here's
Like,
my
that's a
interesting
proxy
take on
war,
it.
though.
It doesn't matter. It
Okay.
doesn't matter, because here's my interesting take on this, right? What happens if, and this is an if, because I realize that this is like not something that could actually happen, right?
Okay.
It's a supposed future. But if we broke out into some kind of civil unrest or war here,
which I don't think is completely off the table. I'm not saying that,
and I
at
don't
all.
either.
Right.
But wouldn't it seem, if we just follow the lines of history, like, wouldn't it be possible for the entire world to also erupt in some form of civil war and Hong Kong just freeze itself?
No. I don't believe that's possible, and the only reason why is because, like, Taiwan has been an autonomous country, and it's still not free of China. China doesn't let go. Like, the weird thing about China is China has this weird xenophobic look on the world. Everybody that's not China can get fucked. Like, that's how China
and they're
thinks.
not afraid to use tanks on their...
Correct, and that's, I was just about to get that. And so you add the fact that they think that they're their own citizens, and they're not afraid to use violence on their own citizens. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more than likely thing is that this dies down and shit doesn't get addressed, and when it fires back up, it's worse again, until maybe that wave leads to the next catalyst. But clearly this is not going to be the catalyst for the change we wanted as a country. I just don't believe that anymore. I hope it is. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but it just, the writing on the wall looks like it's going to be business as usual. Everybody's going to go back, and then they're going to be so shocked when the shit happens again.
I don't know, man. Like, looking at like, I watch Woke Nightly still, and it doesn't. I mean, this seems to me like the tunnel in Willy Wonka. Like, there's no slide.
Well, but look at Woke. Woke is a great example. But look at Woke. Woke is a great example of that. When you and I first started watching Woke, there were 24 different feeds in 24 different cities. The last 4 nights, it's been what, 3 cities?
No, but those cities are still rotating.
Right,
like,
but that's
Atlanta's
the thing. It's down from, we had 50 states protesting at one. Now it's down to 3 rotating. This is what it looks like when it's dying down.
No. And here's the other thing that I'll get to is that in a lot of these places, like Minneapolis included, they're not dying down. There's still daily protests. They're just peaceful and not burning shit down. And Woke seems to be focusing on the ones that are burning down because that's where the ratings are.
I would argue that not burning down is literally dying down.
Yeah, but the thing is that the numbers aren't dwelling down in these places that aren't burning down.
Nobody was metricing
crazy numbers.
But nobody was metricing the peaceful protesters anyways. I'm talking about the violent protest demonstrations, and those are absolutely dying down.
Sure, but like those, what we're finding out weren't even the people that live here. Those were outside. Those were outside instigators by and large.
Like, you understand though, like from a provable metric, that's a pretty big conspiratorial leap.
Not really, because the people that are being arrested are all out of state white people.
But they aren't. There were out of city white people. But in St. Paul, we arrested like 17 people from Minnesota.
Yeah, for sure, and like 3 of them were white.
All the ones that I'm talking about in St. Paul were white.
All of them, the first 2 nights were and this is provable. The first 2 nights in St. Paul, nobody arrested was from St. Paul. Nobody.
Right, but they were all from Minnesota.
Okay, but
except for one that was from Wisconsin, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, so for instance, right, the stat that you're giving, like, that's fine, but like, understand that like one of the dudes that was arrested was from Roseville. That's pretty much St. Paul. Like, they do this when they report shit.
Okay, but they've also were using a technique called scorched earth, which was perfected by General Sherman in the Civil War and the Germans in World War I, and that's how they got the 3rd precinct.
See,
they were practicing.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a lot of like stuff that you and I aren't going to agree on. My whole thing is like, I just don't believe that those people that were involved had that much military knowledge if they get kettled that easy.
It wouldn't take that many, dude. All you have to do is start the looting and the fires. That's all. It doesn't.
And I'm not. I'm not saying every single person there was from. Of course, there were people from out of town, but I think this narrative that everybody is. That's not accurate or healthy.
Well, and the thing is that here's my argument: is that the people that were in charge of the pushing of fires and the fallback, like you could see it military, and we can go back and watch those things, and I can show you.
But you know what? If you look at the live cams inside those targets and those fucking things, maybe the military pushed him in a direction, but like that was mobs, man. That had nothing to do with military.
And I'm not saying that doesn't exist, and we can agree that there are multiple factions,
right?
But the mob mentality is existing outside of the scorched.
My problem is this. This is my problem with the numbers in the way that narrative has been presented. Not just actually, you presented it better than most, but the way that has been presented to me, this has always been my problem, right? Statistically, most of the people rioting and protesting were not caught. Like, statistically, almost all of them.
And they will be from that neighborhood.
So everything we have is anecdotal. It doesn't really mean anything. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's out there. I'm saying it's not provable where the people that were damaging stuff is from unless you catch them, you know? Like,
but a lot of that is crowd mentality. Because
I agree.
Once chaos breaks out, you're going to have everyone around you doing what everyone else is doing.
I agree with that.
But in those situations, it only takes a couple of ringleaders who know what's actually going on to direct the flow of traffic.
But here's my counter argument for that, right? If the goal was scorched earth, right, and you had military people there, right?
Just people that knew what the fuck
sure, doesn't matter, right?
Which was a tactic invented in this country.
I get that, but what I'm saying is if that was actually the goal, right? Wouldn't some of them talk to and deal with the protesters, organizing them against being kettled, which is the most basic military maneuver ever?
Yeah, but there is a very obvious timeline, and you can see it shift between that first Friday and Saturday night, where it was very clear that the instigators had mostly left, and they haven't been back since.
Well, I think that there are a portion of people that came just to fuck shit up, for sure. That always happens.
And then you saw a lot of that pull away because riots were erupting in a lot of cities that those instigators were coming from, like Milwaukee and Chicago and Madison.
Right.
You know,
and I think a lot of them,
like
it's like Unicorn Riot. A lot of those guys went to other cities immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's like, I mean, but here's my argument for that, right? So let's say you are a Black Lives Matter activist. We don't even have to say you can be white. Doesn't matter. It's not a color thing. Let's say you're an activist for that. And you're fucking showing up because you want your fucking pound of flesh, right? Like, the moment that's done here, if you have the actual ability to, you're going to go somewhere else to do that same thing there. So, like, the idea that, like, the people were out of town, that doesn't prove anything. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, because here's the thing. It's just completely substantial, right? Like, it's unsubstantiated. Like, we know that right now the people that are protesting are super peaceful, and that was not the case 2 weeks ago. That's what we know.
Right. Well, I'm not saying that everyone that was doing the scorched earth tactics from anywhere, because I don't know. But from what I saw from Wednesday to Friday night was a very clear military tactic being used against the police.
Right.
And after Friday night, the military tactics stopped, and that's when the police were able to get the upper hand.
But here's the other counter to that, right? Do you know who has been militarizing constantly and gets really weird and destructive of property the moment that shit happens?
Cops.
Antifa.
Sure, but I'm not a big. See, that's another thing where you and I will probably butt heads and agree with, because I don't think they're as big as you think they are.
They started Chaz. Like, they're the ones that started that.
Maybe, but like the guy in charge of it right now is just some like black dude from that neighborhood.
I mean, now, but the guy that they arrested that's an admitted Antifa member isn't. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like,
well,
it's
I'm not saying that they don't exist in some cities, but like, there's not a big, huge Antifa. Like, I've never.
But let's go back to your initial narrative of people. But let's go back to your initial narrative of people not being from here. If you are a big militant Antifa person and you know these protests are going on, where's a better place to go to break shit?
I think it would be more logical to assume that the instigators would just be like nationalist parties and other.
I don't. I think
groups.
I think that is some subtle bigotry because you want to find evil where there might not be. I mean, people are pissed off all over the place.
A narrative for sure.
Well, no, I said I think it's not a narrative. It's my speculation.
Like, here's what I know. Right, historically, it could be sort of proven that like whenever these sort of things happen, white nationalist instigators and police will inflame a situation for a couple of days so that they can create a narrative where it's out of control, so they have reasoning to crack down.
But do you think those are the only two people that were involved in instigating?
No, but
Right.
do I think that there was a majority of it? Yes.
Right,
absolutely.
but that's just pure opinion, and I disagree with that, and that's fine.
I
Like, we
don't think that the majority of people here were Antifa. Like I really.
I'm
don't.
not saying they weren't. I'm just giving you other options. Like there are so many fucking like groups to pick from that are pissed off at the government right now. Like I also think some of them were probably the fucking stay-at-home people. I still say that if coronavirus doesn't happen, these riots wouldn't happen. I really believe that.
Here's the other thing that I agree with that too. Here's the other thing that I'll say and I'll point out is that like the people that are getting caught for like for example burning down the third are all dumb idiot white kids who weren't wearing their masks.
That's not true. They arrested 5 black people for that arson.
For the third, so far I've only seen the 2.
For the one that no, there's 4 white people that were caught on video burning it down, and they're arrested right now.
Yes.
And this is what I'm saying is that it's real easy. It's real easy, and I'm playing devil's advocate because like I'm not obviously nationalism is a problem, and I'm not saying
that we're responsible for burning it down, right? And I think that there were like 2 or 3 of them that have been caught. So, and
they have 7 arrests to my knowledge about that, and 4 of them are black, 3 of them are white.
Yeah, but that pertains to the looting and vandalizing.
No, I'm talking specifically that precinct, and it was based on the camera evidence that was recalled.
I'll have to look into that more.
I can send you links. I'll send you links after the show.
Yeah, for sure. Because like from what I was saying, initially, and everything changes so often. It could have just been a report that I read last week that got updated.
Yeah, I mean it's changing constantly. If you're not spending 5 or 6 hours studying this, you're not informed. And myself included, I'm not spending that much time.
The people that are there that are going to be employing the professional tactics aren't going to be the dumb idiots running around with their face masks half off. They're going to be people like you saw
but like
the AutoZone with the face mask.
Right, but here's the thing. That dude in that umbrella that everybody talks about, that dude hammered 5 windows and then left. All the other stuff that happened to the AutoZone had nothing to do with that dude.
Yeah, but he's like that was the first building, like nothing else.
That wasn't. That's actually misreported too. The first building to go up was actually in Midtown. It was by the Global Market.
Which one was that?
It was the fucking. It's a cell phone like fucking whatever.
No, the PCS, not go up. I'm talking about being looted. First one that was broken into and started.
I thought the Target there was the first one looted there.
They were within like 10 minutes of each other, but the AutoZone was first.
But my point is, breaking windows and walking away does not mean you're responsible for all the looting that takes place. That's all. And I'm not like, fuck that guy too. I'm not like, these are all devil's advocate like things. Because my whole thing is that like, we all have our own bias and we all have our own preconceived notions when we go into this. And it's important to challenge and question them and really dissect both of us, really dissect in our mind how much of what we believe are we believing because we want to and how much of it is provable. That's all.
Well, and all we're doing right now is making our respective arguments strong because like we're finding our weak points in our argument and being able to.
Right, and then we'll go research them, and then those won't be weak points, or we'll change our mind and have a bunch of other weak points in another argument.
Because both of us, I feel like are pretty malleable.
Yeah, I know. I think if you're not able to change your mind from new data, you're an idiot. I've always believed that.
Right.
Like, and that's why like the CDC shit pisses me off so much because it's like if it doesn't live on surfaces, what the fuck were you studying?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we gotta go. We're way over time. I gotta run.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Tell people where to get hold of you. What, Doima? Go ahead.
I was going to say, so in summation, the St. Cloud riots last night. Because you guys, I didn't even get to fucking finish the story.
Yeah, we went in deep there.
Well, whatever. So, Minneapolis is better than St. Cloud anyways. Get fucked.
Yeah, it is. And?
Also, we burnt down a cop station, so we get first billing.
Totally.
Tovar, tell people where to get a hold of you. Are you actually doing your thing tomorrow?
Oh, so I think I'm gonna hold of Joe Cocazella. We're gonna do that missing interview that never existed. Stephen Tovar 79 on Instagram.
Dope. Doima, where do they find you?
They can find me. Just listen to the Awful Service podcast. It's on all podcast platforms.
Perfect. All right. Well, that'll do it for us. We're gonna go into the end phase. Wow. Also, a reminder, thank you guys so much. DeReal Motherfucker, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for everybody that's here and supporting. And remember, we are not going to be back Friday. So this is where we change our times, right? So we are not going to be at our normal time. What we are going to be doing is Friday. So tomorrow you can go over to the Steel Toe Show and watch the Steel Toe Evening Show. On Thursday, you can listen to me in the morning on the Steel Toe Show, and then you can also listen to Savage Thoughts Podcast on the Steel Toe Show. And then Friday will be a dead spot, I guess. Saturday and Sunday we're off. And then Monday, Twitch Talk will resume at its new time, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Monday through Friday. Thank you guys so much for having me. Don't forget to join the Discord. I updated the link so you can get there. And even though this is a break or whatever, I will probably be on playing video games at some point Friday or Saturday or something. So this is a great night. Thank you guys so much. Tovar, Doima, Aaron, Jeffrey, everybody, thank you so much for doing it. Don't forget to go over to the Twitch Talk. Like, I think everybody that in the Twitch Talk can vouch about how cool it looks now. I mean, we're getting there, man. This is gonna be great. We're gonna fucking have a pretty good thing going. By Monday, we should have even more weird shit going on with the Discord. So you guys have been awesome. Have a great night. We will see you on Monday at 10 a.m. I also am going to try to do, so this Friday there's a show at Sisyphus at 8 p.m. I'm going to try to Twitch cast that and see how that goes. So you might see me activate at Twitch at 8 p.m. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and share all this stuff. Don't forget to go over to Twitch Talk Cast. That's usually where we play the games. Once we move from the new time slot, we might actually move the games to this channel. So don't forget that. You guys have been awesome. Don't forget to go over to Venmo and donate to Corey Adam Comedy or PayPal at CoreyAdamComedy@gmail.com. Everything you give to me goes into paying my bills or goes right back into the show. You guys are awesome. This is episode 65, guys. We've been 65 of these fucking things, and 66 is going to be crazy. Don't forget, one more time, Monday, 10 a.m., bright and early, right here, Twitch Talk Cast. You guys have been awesome. Have a great night. We will see you on Monday.
Down the microphone, a bum is hit. He didn't suffer fools and he never took no lip